All right, Benchwarmers, listen up. It's going to get hot at the ballpark, hot at the gym, and hot at your kid's sports practice. So you need something that does two things at once. Keeps your drink cold and lets you rep your squad in style. That is where Frost Buddy comes in. With Frost Buddy, you can represent your favorite college teams from Alabama all the way to Xavier while keeping your drinks colder than a small forward missing 12 shots in a row. And if you are keeping something warm, they can do that too. Hotter than a center who just made 12 straight in the paint. The Universal XL Frost Buddy can handle almost anything. Traditional 12-ounce cans, Gatorade, sports drinks, slim cans, tall boys, Arizona iced tea cans, and even bottles. That is why they call it Universal. And to cap it all off, literally, you can add a 100% leak-proof lid, the perfect finish, just like your favorite team closing out a big win. And speaking of favorite teams, Frost Buddy has you covered there. MLB fans can pick their favorite team and choose from styles in the Cooperstown Collection or Legacy Collection. More of an NHL fan? Frost Buddy and All Gloves Off Sports Media have you covered with 120 styles of Universal Buddies and To-Go Buddies, plus your favorite NCAA teams. And it gets even better. Frost Buddy has 40,000 plus reviews, a 30-day free trial, and free shipping on orders over $60. Not buying for a sports fan? No problem. They also have several 32-ounce bottle buddies and full rainbow of designs, perfect for as a gift for people in your life who may not be locked in on the game day like you are. They come with a sip and chug lid, no slip bottom, a detachable strap, and yes, they are cup holder friendly. So scan the code, chill the liquid, and rep your team with a great combination of Frost Buddy and All Gloves Off Sports Media. You are covered wherever game day takes you. Go to frostbuddy.com/redhotreds and get yours today. That's frostbuddy.com/REDHOTREDS and get yours today.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 283rd edition of the Far End of the Bench podcast, the third on under the All Gloves Off Sports Media banner. So as you heard in the Frost Buddy ad, make sure you follow us at FEOTB Pod, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out All Gloves Off Sports Media. I know a ton of you looked at our video that came out on their YouTube channel. So if you're tuning in to us now from there, we appreciate you. Welcome. You are now entered into the Mile High Sports Madness. This has been a jam-packed summer. I guess we probably could have assumed that with the World Cup. It's something that we don't normally have. It's only once every 4 years or every 2 if you actually pay attention to women's soccer. So we have that. We have baseball that we're going to be talking about because, again, we do big things here on this show, Niko. And we have a guest coming back. It's not his first time on the show, but it's his first time as we're under the new network banner. So before we bring on our good friend Daren Briare from the Fadeaways Sports Podcast and Seventh Inning Stretch. How was your weekend? I know that you were traveling. You went to, this was the Connecticut week, right? Now you get to be at home at least. You get to stay local.
I'm not going to, no words, no comment to my weekend is all I'm going to say. I hate that place. I'm not going to name the city. I'm not going to go on about my 13 hours at the airport trying to get home, the 1 a.m. flight, landing at 4 a.m. I'm not going to talk about any of that, because it was a lovely travel weekend, my favorite part of the country to go to. But I don't know about you. Look, I put my USA World Cup kit on today to record the show for a main reason is I have post-World Cup depression. I miss it.
It was weird not having any fun in the middle of the day.
I need football. I need basketball. I need hockey. I need something because I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with myself. I've loved every second of this World Cup the past month and a half. That I literally, it's like Bromberg. I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm watching old comic book Spider-Man TV show on my TV while I'm working at home.
Batman Beyond has been on my TV as well. Batman Beyond on HBO Max has been on mine as well.
I don't know what to do with myself. I've been watching soccer 24/7 and my itch is just still itching. And I'm like, what?
You're one of the few that still have an itch after that World Cup final game because that was for the ignorant American. Again, I'm not saying that I'm ignorant, but if you want to take a screenshot, make sure you tag us. As an ignorant American, I would say that game was not as exciting to watch. But before we get into talking about the actual World Cup and the final game, we are going to bring on our guest from the Fat Boy Fadeaway Sports Podcast, all the way from the Bay Area. He is joining us on his summer break because he's a teacher as well. Daren Briare, We are happy to have you back.
What's up,
Welcome
boys?
to the All Gloves Off Sports Media audience. And I know that you're still over there rocking it on VSN, talking about your baseball, talking about your basketball on Sundays. I will be joining you this weekend on Fadeaways Sports. And I'm sure when we get to our AFC West preview and Fernando Mendoza, you were definitely tuned into the ESPYs. You were like, what are they going to do with my boy? What are they going to do with him? Come on.
Go Rockies. Come on, Niko. Have a little love.
We've made it very clear in this show I'm no longer a Rockies fan. So we're past that.
Hey, we could still lose under 100 games. It's still possible. It is still possible.
If you said I could talk maybe a little MLB, so I'll save that for later. It's good to be with you guys as always. Hope everything's going well with you, Niko, Jimmy. Respect what you guys do. Thanks for letting me jump on the new network tonight with you guys, and I look forward to some of our conversation pieces that we get to have tonight. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I
wrote it down. I was like, he's a Bay Area fan, so obviously we'll talk about the Warriors, especially when we get to LeBron, which we're going to get to. But he still kept the teams that left. I don't know why. You're still an A's fan. You're still a Raiders fan, even though they both moved to Las Vegas.
I can't root for the Giants and Niners. It's just not in the blood, man.
It would make your life so much. Well, I don't know. Would that make your life easier or harder with Brian Johnson?
I would definitely make it a little easier. I hate those teams. I can't just be like, I love you. It just doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. I mean, Broncos and Niners, right?
It was probably like the AFC Championship. Were you rooting for the Patriots or were you rooting for the Broncos? Or
you talk about the ultimate lose-lose right there. Were you
just rooting for the field to open up like Gotham, the Dark Knight Rises? You're like, yep, nope, the game doesn't need to finish.
I didn't even feel bad that their quarterback was hurt. It didn't even cross my mind.
All right,
that's where we'll start. That's a little preview for later.
It's good to have you back on, and I'm sure that you were watching the World Cup like we were talking about as well. So Spain is the world champion, both on the men's side and the women's side. I believe they became the second country to win both the men's and women's World Cup in congruent years. So they are the true world champions of football. And in the game that we saw, it was 1-0. You can say that it wasn't as exciting. I feel like depending on if you were an Argentina fan, you just kind of sat there the entire time, like, come on, go towards the net. Get the ball to Messi. If you were watching it as a Spain fan, you're like, this is incredible. Like, they can just take the ball back from anybody. They have total ball control, total ball control of the entire field. They have all of the territory. I believe it was until the 78th minute that the Argentinians finally were actually in the attacking third for at least 10 minutes, and they didn't get their first shot on net until the 119th minute, which is extra time, by the way. So if it would have finished in regulation and we went to penalties or sudden death, Argentina literally had nothing that they did all day. So I'll let this kind of be open. We'll talk about the final first and then maybe move back into what we saw with the semifinals and all of the antics. And we'll talk about the off-the-pitch stuff as well. But, Daren, what were you thinking about Sunday as you were watching the Spaniards absolutely dominate in winning their only second World Cup championship as a country?
I was thinking of the Ravens defense back in the day. That's why I was like, that was my NFL equivalent of like, you literally get nothing. That's just what it felt like at any point. They got the
Argentinian goaltender had more saves in the game than the Spanish goaltender had the entire tournament.
Unreal. Like Cape Verde, second place. I mean, they at least tied him, for goodness sakes. Unbelievable. Like, I would say I know. So I grew up playing soccer a lot, but I obviously didn't play anything hot. But like just basic watching, it's like that's domination on every level. Argentina didn't show up. They were not. I mean, their best chance was like the first 2 minutes on this like ball the defender lost, and you thought for a second Messi was going to have a free run. Other than that, they literally had no hope. I mean, that was the definition, right, of frustration. It was interesting watching that finals. Like Spain just tactically took them apart, and you just saw a team mentally break down. And I don't know, like Nick, I'd be curious to get your thoughts, like the coach's side of that. Like, was this him? Like, I mean, like he made some interesting subs. Like, I know you were, it just seemed like the coach didn't seem to care either. It was a reflection of something. So, and it was 0-0 all the way to extra time. I'd be curious to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, look, Spain Spain dominated from the opening whistle to the end. Like, I think it was I think the one thing that a lot of people aren't giving enough credit to is the Spanish coach. Like the fact that the team only conceded one goal all term long. now is the
For
record
those damn Belgians.
Exactly, is now the record for least amount of goals given up. The previous record was Italia in 2006, which had 2, which is crazy. But the fact that you only let in 1 goal is insane. And when you look at this team and how it's set up, defensively they're very heavy. Laporte and Kubarsi are 2 younger defenders that aren't as worldly well known as some French players, some French guys, some of the Argentinian players, and they really focused on just suffocating you from the midfield. Like Rodri was the best one player term, which we can have a conversation about later on because I don't think that was deserved. It was LeBron 2016 where they give it to Iguodala for holding it to 40 points a game, basically. that's how they. When it
Kellerman was very happy that year. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Had a great year.
Exactly. When it should have been Messi who carried his team to this far, and the team wouldn't have made it this far without him. But the midfield for this team just suffocated, and you look at the offensive firepower. Yamal did not have a good tournament. Lamine Yamal did not have a good tournament, and he
two goals the entire time.
I think he did not even produce a goal in the final 3 games. A guy that was obviously young player of the tournament. Watched Kubarsi obviously won it. A guy that was firing on all cylinders in the Euros a couple years ago, and one of the best players in the world at Barcelona. They really relied on their midfield, and I want to say the top center, like between Oyarzabal, I think that's how I pronounce it, Oyarzabal and Ferran Torres, like they had a 2-headed monster there where they would sub on and off, and it's like a super sub where they bring Torres on, and Torres would be just a lightning keeper at the point where their whole coaching strategy was basically, hey, we're going to lull you to sleep where you start making mistakes. And you look at every match they had, the only team that didn't make mistakes was the other team that literally sat there and was saying, do the exact same thing. And that was Cabo Verde. They sat there and said, we're going
park the bus.
We're going to park the bus and be smart. And everyone else made mistakes, and that's what cost them. Like you look back at that goal, the only goal of the game, like that was a misplay by the defender, not guarding Ferran Torres on the point there. A header that just came roaring right back to the middle, and on left foot, of course, was going back in the net. I mean, like Emi Martinez, the goaltender for Argentina, had an excellent tournament. But my gosh, you can't beg the guy to do everything.
He had a broken finger in that final game, and he had 11 saves up until the header that actually went in from Fernando Torres.
It was a left foot shot that popped off the top. But I sat here being like, it was the guy with the stick poking at something. I was like, are you going to do something? The whole time, Argentinian fans was doing that to their team. Because the whole time, Julian Alvarez negated, right? Messi negated. Lautaro Martinez, the guy from Inter Milan, negated. Like they had no offensive firepower with all these guys that play at top clubs in Europe. Maybe they should come to the MLS, and maybe they'll actually take that next step.
Well, I'm telling you, that one guy wasn't allowed back to his EPL team. Did you see that?
Oh, I'm
Which
sure.
guy was that?
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure it was Fernando Torres. I think Fernando Torres was kicked off of Chelsea, the blue team.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of Spanish names that we struggle with here, but I just sat here watching this game and be like, yeah, this is like if you wanted a game on crack where you see a bunch of goals scored, you watch the 3rd place game between England and France. Okay,
the fact that they do a 3rd place game, we need to see more of those. We need to see more 3rd place games. We need to see more toilet bowls. We need to play for the first overall pick in the NFL, and we need to play for the 3rd.
I thought that was what college football was.
That third game was absolutely on crack. But this
Mbappe was like, how many more goals do I need for the Golden Boot?
This final was a soccer game that was just masterclass versus team that, dare I say, was in the cup chair.
But Niko, how about that idiot Martinez? What are you doing? Yeah, like I mean, at least you can get the penalties. He was. That's why they were out of control.
Fernandez was the guy that sent the Spanish dude flying about 15 feet in the air.
And number 5 should have been number 5 in any other game is out of there way earlier. He's out of there by the 70-minute mark, and he played 20 minutes. Like. They lost their mind. They didn't have.
That's what Argentina does. Like you look at look at 4 years ago final. Like they had that game won, and then Mbappe happens, and they storm back, and France knocks that to or gets that to penalty kicks in the end, where Emi Martinez, the guy who's still the World Cup goalie, shows out and goes crazy in the penalty kicks in 2022. Like that's what Argentina was trying to do, was just hold on and let Messi do whatever. And unfortunately, at 40 some odd years old, Messi can't do that. He's the GOAT, okay? But like you're gonna need help from a lot of other people, and they got none of that from anybody.
as good and as like we said, he is the more likable of the two guys that everybody say in the GOAT conversation for football between Ronaldo and Messi. Messi is the more humble superstar. But, and I'll go to Daren for this because you're the Raider fan. Argentina's a bunch of thugs. Like Niko didn't prepare me enough going into this tournament. He didn't prepare me enough, but the fan base is the worst fan base to be in the stadium with. Like I unfortunately I've never been to Argentina, never been to South America, but just from what you showed me, you trashed Times Square after you got your asses kicked in the final. You said a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of them ending with ER, which is not good. And you said those on camera, knowing that you were being filmed. You made ISO Speed out to be a monkey. You said them all. That was the thing. My family called me a nerd, but I went back because I'm a former social studies teacher. I watched a documentary on the Falkland Islands. You realize that the Falkland Islands have never wanted to be considered part of Argentina? Ever. Yeah, never, ever. They're like, yeah, Britain, as far away as possible. That's good. I will be a colony for the rest of the time. Don't let Argentina take control of the Falkland Islands. And that stupid-ass banner, the post-game antics, the fights, one of them is going to come up again. Niko and I almost had the same Benchwarmer of the week for probably the same reason. But did you know that you were supposed to hate Argentina this much? Did you know they played like this?
I mean, the end of the game was kind of crazy. I mean, you saw as soon as halftime hit, something happened where they changed the way they played even more so. And they got lucky, I think, early on. Like a lot of those would have been yellows early in the tournament. But you said Raiders is like in my lifetime, I'm not used to that. But from watching the old videos of what they do on it, like that, it does seem like they're stretching it. And in soccer, everything's so subtle. Like the referee has all that call where they don't review every play and every intent of every play. And that's what usually happens.
He missed a couple right crosses and a couple elbows that if it was in UFC 329, he would have knocked the guy out.
Honestly, it's like kind of watching 80s, I guess 70s, 80s football, probably more 80s where they do review sub stuff. But like a lot of it's just like, no, it just is what it is. And I kind of appreciate some of it sometimes in that regard too, though. But man, hard to root for him that game at the end. As much as I wanted Messi to do that.
Like I said, as a Messi glazer and a guy that he's my GOAT, like I was watching the game with my Messi Inter Miami jersey. I was. And then as I watched the game along, I was like, fuck, this is really hard to root for them.
I hated them more than I hated them. They were on the same level during the game. And I have no affiliation to Spain other than the fact that they share the Mediterranean border with Italy. But I have no affiliation to Spain. And I said, "Viva España! Viva! Vamos España!"
I mean, everything that Spain did post game and like they're respectful and like you look at the celebrations. I mean, the goalkeeper of the tournament award went to Unai Simon, and last year or 4 years ago it was Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez famously held the goalkeeper trophy at his crotch like he was jerking it after he won it, and Unai Simon was very respectful with it and shaking all their hands. There's one way to win and there's one way to lose, and Spain, country that's really hasn't been there in a while, ever outside the last 4 years, like really struggled after the 2010 champion or World Cup final win.
Yep.
Like that country has really shown the way that you develop players correctly. It's like Spain is really done it the right way, as opposed to Argentina is on the backs of one guy, and it shows one guy. And one guy got you a World Cup final, and a couple decent players playing to their strengths and being dirty. That's what'll happen. Like Argentina, It shows how good Argentina is, because obviously it's very, very difficult to make it to 2 straight World Cup finals, let alone win 2 in a row. It's obviously hasn't happened in 40 plus years.
Well, when you have the referees in your pocket and the FIFA,
it helps also.
The hand of God. Do we forget the hand of God? It goes all the way back to Maradona. I don't know why, but Argentina's always been putting grease in the palms of the FIFA.
I mean, president. Messi basically did what our boy Flo Balogun did with decleating somebody and like in the knockout stages of the games, and he got no card for that. So like there's a lot of that fishy stuff, and it's no.
I swear I thought they were gonna send Cucarera, or however you say his last name, when he had the little. You know what he said? Because they had Spanish lip readers look at him. He said, "Estás bien?" He was asking Messi if he was okay. He was asking him if he was. He covered his.
He said, "My mother." He said, "My mother." He said, "It's like."
I know that there's a little bit different dialect between Spain Spanish and Argentinian Spanish, but it's the same language.
It was very funny seeing all the mouth covering thing because I think that made it worse than it really made it better. I understand like get the racism out of the game and everything, but like the not like people do this when they talk about things and it was a little heavy, a little interesting how all the American rules entered the World Cup that's never really been around for soccer.
Looking at the individual awards, because Spain,
Cleaned
they
up.
did what they did. They were awesome. Golden ball goes to Rodri. Silver ball went to Messi. Bronze ball goes to Mbappe. He had 10 goals in this tournament. That's 22 World Cup goals total in his career.
Which is the most, by the way. He passed him. Messi broke the record. Then Mbappe decided to break the record himself. I don't think. Do
we see Mbappe in another one? Because Mbappe was another guy that they were saying, is this going to be his last World Cup? And I agree with you. Should they have counted the third place goals into the whole total? Because that's, like I said, the English defense went off for tea in the second half. The French defense never showed up, but the English defense left at halftime. So that's how you get a 6-4 game.
I mean, look, that's one way to pat your stats, but it's not Mbappe's last tourney. Okay, the dude's still young. This is, I mean, if they would have beaten Spain, it would have been his third straight World Cup final. Like that's insane to think about. The guy is still at least like under 30 years old. I think he may be 29, 30, somewhere around there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was 18 8 years ago, or it's 19 8 years ago. So he's still under 30. Like he's this is not his last World Cup. Let me just put that out there. This record by Mbappe is going to withstand for a very, very long ass time until we see someone on a dominant country do this. And like you think about like the likes of the greats of all time, right? Pele, Maradona, all these. This record has been fucking shattered. Like it's not even close. 22 goals in 3 World Cups is insane. Like even without the third place game, he would have gotten to 22 goals. Okay? Like he will be playing 4 years and be able to extend this even further. Like it's like France like relies very heavily on Mbappe to lead this team, and I think it's a weird thing to give out third place points and goals for all that, but like it's always been there. It's always been a third place game, and like I said, that third place game gave us a crackhead game that was very exciting. So I'm really not going to complain.
I don't know if you guys know this, but if England would have lost to France, they would have been the sole holder of the most amount of times lost in a third place game. So they were like. They were holding on for dear life, especially in the North American tournament. So we did the Golden Boot. That was Kylian Mbappe. Golden Glove was Unai Simon.
Like I said, the guy gives up 1 goal all tournament. I understand he didn't have all his saves, but the fact
he was back there picking dandelions, and he had like what two plays every single game that he actually had to be.
I mean, like you can't like I understand Emi Martinez could have won it. I understand like Pickford could have won it, or Mignon from France could have won it. But like in reality, guy gives up 1 goal, he has to win it. Like I don't
goal.
Yeah, like think about that.
In a world class tournament, he literally got a 99% in AP Calculus 2.
It's just insane.
And he got a 5 on the AP test just for good measure. The young player of the award goes to Pau Kubarsi. Like
a defender that was the head of the snake. The guy's, I believe, like 21, 22 years old. And this young defensive line from Spain is only going to get better.
So good, man. They're going to be. Is it in Spain? I mean, they're going to be dominant.
I believe, the men's
World 4 years
going back to España.
4 years, it's I believe it's Saudi Arabia. Then 8 years, it's in Spain, Portugal, and all those teams. So
the Iberian Peninsula. Shout out my social studies teachers. Daren, we did this. So actually, before we get to the North American thing, I want to ask both of you this: does the way that Argentina played and the way that they ended the game with all of the off-field antics, the post-match antics, does that affect the legacy of Messi, or does that just put Messi even further up on this pedestal? I know the way that Niko just self-admitted he's a Messi glazer. So Daren, we'll start with you. Does the way that the Argentinians played around Messi affect Messi's legacy? Because again, he's one of the most likable superstars that we have in the world, but he is surrounded by the least likable people. Again, I'm going back to the Raiders. I'm thinking of like Kenny the Snake, and then the everybody on that defense that was just absolutely ending people. on the other side. But
Yeah.
what do you think about Argentina and the way that they affect Messi's legacy?
Yeah, he's too great for it. It doesn't matter. He's the best player in the world. Everybody knows it. He wasn't out there acting psycho. He wasn't out there like he was, for the
he didn't look at Spain when they got their trophy. He was the one that was he started the whole turn the backs to Spain.
I mean, he played in Barcelona for so long. I got to think he understands the culture a little bit. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there was some hidden digs there along the way, but like at the end of the day, he's so great. It doesn't really matter like 8 years from now, like they're gonna love him. Like he's the best player ever. Everybody knows it. I would say he surpassed Ronaldo in that conversation. And I mean, I don't know, Niko, you might feel differently, but it's like, to me, he's the greatest of all time. Everybody knows it. You better be darn special to take him away. And these guys acting kind of crazy in this game, though he didn't do anything to say, hey guys, knock it off. Like, I don't think it's going to affect his legacy.
Definitely wasn't the older presence, the father.
He needed that. Like, he needed them to back him up. I mean, they were unreal the last 15 minutes of games. Like,
so he was the Don. He was the Don of a mafia family. He didn't actually kill anybody, but he ordered the hit on everybody else that was in the tournament.
I mean, like all the greats had their hitmen though. So like, like Jordan had Rodman, LeBron had insert name here of the guys. Curry had Draymond. Like you can. Every great player.
Don't you put Claude Lemieux into that statement, Aaron? Don't you put Claude Lemieux there?
Like this is not. I mean, like the end of this game. Yeah, it sucks if you're like a Messi Glazer and everything like me to see this, but like at the same time, like I could care less about who the heck is on the rest of this team. I was like Messi does what Messi does, and the fact that he almost willed a team to a World Cup win at 40 some odd years old, like literally, like they don't beat Capo Verde without him. They don't beat Belgium, or sorry, they don't beat
Egypt.
Remind everybody going back to the group stage, he scored the first 5 goals of the Argentinian campaign.
They don't beat England in the semis without him. Like they were down 1-0 the whole game. In the 80th minute, Messi does Messi things. I at 40 some odd years old, he's go for a reason, and a guy that should be rooted for. Like in reality, the only thing that this would have affected is him having a second World Cup, and then the untouchableness of him being the GOAT will never change. It's like it could have been from GOAT to untouchable status, like Wayne Gretzky. It's like we're GOAT status already, and this would have added to the resume, but that by no means does it decrease it. I mean, like I said, guys like Yamal, Mbappe, like guys like Harry Kane, like all these guys are great players, but in reality, they should just be doing what Messi's doing, is being a great player and then joining the MLS, the the best league in the world, okay? They're not doing anything over there in the Premier League, okay? Come to the big leagues of the MLS and be...
como La Liga or the Bundesliga?
Like I said, look, join Tim Ream, join the likes of
if Messi plays,
all the best players in the MLS.
Messi licks his chops. Messi goes out the night before to 11 when he plays Tim Ream.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like if these guys want to be the top level of Tim Ream in the MLS, they need to stop playing in the minor leagues of Liga and the Premier League. Come on.
That's good stuff.
I had something else that I was gonna put out there, but I totally forgot what it was.
I said, Yamal, stop messing with Barcelona, bro. Stop messing with Barcelona. The Colorado Rapids and the Seattle Sounders follow in the greatness of Clint Dempsey and go to Seattle and win a championship in Seattle. That's will put you GOAT status.
That's funny.
How crazy is it that Messi baptized Lamine Yamal? And I saw it.
Unreal.
When you don't kill the son, he always comes back to find it. AKA the Lion King. You don't kill the son, he comes back and he takes your kingdom. Like, oh boy,
I still can't believe that's real. Like I seriously think that
Darren, I don't know if you saw that episode. Niko thought I was AI tricked, and
I still think it was
a charity magazine cover.
I still think there's somebody in Spain that's probably like, that is not fucking him. That's me. That's sitting there. They'd be like, that is not him. That is my parents. That's me as a child.
Fernando. I know that guy.
I'm just saying, like I'm telling you, this is not fucking real. There's got to be somebody in Spain that's going to be like, what the fuck? That was me. Like I'm telling you, as fun of the story is, I still don't believe it.
That's good stuff.
The memes of like time travelers going back and saying, Messi, drown this baby if you want to win your second World Cup was fucking hilarious.
I like the AA ones with them putting Messi in the tank. They're like, like reversed.
If you're a DC fan, we should throw him in the Lazarus pit and see if we can
Oh,
kind of
wow.
revive Messi's powers there. We'll all get into giving a grade. So we were giving grades last week to the U.S. men's national team. We'll give a grade to the entire North American World Cup as a whole. But Daren, since you weren't here last week, talking about the U.S. men's national team, obviously it was kind of bittersweet the way that we went out. We got our asses handed to us by the Belgians, who then got beat by Spain. The only team to score on Spain, so I guess maybe Belgium was really that much better than we all gave them credit for. But what grade do you give this U.S. men's national team? And then leading into that, what grade do you give the North American World Cup overall? Because this was a long time coming. This has been in the works for a while, and outside of the fact that they had to call it New Jersey Stadium, I feel like, I've seen a whole bunch of videos of the UK people going back, and it's like, this is a typical summer day in the UK. I took for granted the summer sunshine in Florida, 360 days of sunshine. That is something that I took for granted. So U.S. men's national team grade, since you're a teacher as well, and then what grade do you give the World Cup?
I mean, I know that last game leaves a very bitter taste in the thought process of them. Like, my first thought, honestly, when I watched the first thing, I was like, thank God we don't have to play Spain. I was like, that was literally my first thought, was like, we would get abused by them on every level. I gave them a C, and I wanted to go harder than that. It's like, but the reality is, they looked like, for the first time in my lifetime, there was some offensive explosion ability. Like, they looked like there was like an ability to score. But then you get this reality check when you play Belgium, and you're like, this is what a first-class country of plays soccer looks like. Like, football. that was just it. That was the reality. It's like, we could beat like certain teams, and this year we got gifted, where we were placed. Like, we might have to play Norway next time, or some other team. Like, like this year, next time in the World Cup.
We'll have to qualify to make the World Cup the next time, Daren.
Yeah.
We'll have to actually play in the CONCACAF. And our starters, Christian Pulisic, excuse me, because I actually saw the Amex card, the Amex commercial that he's in. The most worthless U.S. superstar of all time, based on his last two World Cup tournaments.
Me and Tyler had a little difference on. I had Landon Donovan as a winner of my week. He had Landon Donovan as a loser of the week. But I was like,
Landon Donovan won that for sure. Landon Donovan is still the greatest U.S. striker of all time. Pulisic, he's been supposed to take that over for the last 8 years.
I appreciate his takes. I don't know what it is. I know he's a little arrogant. I get it, but I still appreciate his takes on there. I know it's a little 50-50, but I also don't expect them to. I just don't expect us to be a top, I don't know, we're ranked 17 or something like that. If we're 17, if we take this to any other sporting league, we're far away from first place. And then the overall, I give it an A. From me as a USA citizen, living on the West Coast, other than me missing most of the games in the damn morning, starting at 9 a.m. or something like that, I was able to watch a lot of the games. I love the idea of Mexico hosting their own team. That made it even better. That England-Mexico game is probably the thing I'll remember the most.
Game of the tournament, Mexico-England in Estadio Azteca.
It was the best game. That was awesome. That game was a legit. Whatever that guy, I always forget his name on England. That guy is an absolute stud. I mean, he to me, Niko could have won one of those awards very easily too. He was unreal. And then. So I thought it was hosted well. I didn't have any problem with some of the exterior stuff, whatever went on. Shakira, well done. I mean, I thought it was good stuff.
That was a wild halftime show. Ted Lasso.
That was goated. I'll take no hate.
Super Bowl.
I'm not telling you I hated it.
Besides BTS, I was loving every second. I was like, what's going on here? But
you'll appreciate this. I was making clips, so I didn't turn the game on until the second half of the halftime show. After Justin Bieber was finishing his rendition of Believe, and then I got Shakira and I got the children's choir. I was like, oh. And then I saw the entire thing back, and I was like, wow, they literally threw everything at the wall, and they were like, we're going to hit somebody with something.
I was thinking NFL, step up your game. Let's go.
No, that was better than any Super Bowl halftime show of probably the last 3 years, three to 5 years. Niko, what grade do you give the North American World Cup as a whole?
This is an A+. Like I cannot emphasize enough this being.
I could do an A+.
Let me give you a reason why. Because one thing, like, there's one thing. The whole fucking world hates us, okay? Like, that's very well known. It's very well known how much America is hated.
You didn't want an Iran.
Why did he have to be on the World Cup trophy stage? Why did he have to be there when Spain was getting the trophy?
It is very well known that we are very hated, okay? But the fact that you had so many people come in our country be like, wow, this is the best thing ever. To have you come to the stage, like, oh my
to
gosh.
the United Kingdom.
We had Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas, a B-tier level NFL stadium, being like, this is the greatest thing ever. I love air conditioning. I love this stadium. Being like, yeah, that's not even close to what we have. Like,
they went to the Texas A&M Stadium, which has 110,000 seats, and they're like, wait a second.
That was a preseason game. Be like, wow, what is going on? Like it wasn't even a World Cup game. It was a pre-tournament game. Like you look at everything from this tournament top to bottom. You had the star. Like Mbappe, Messi, Haaland, Kane, all had excellent tournaments where they each put in at least 6+ goals this tournament. Like, that's insane to have a tournament where you're like, oh, what? We're going to have a tournament here. Our star players are going to perform. That could have went exactly sideways. You had the underdog stories. You had Cabo Verde, a country I still don't know where it is on the fucking map.
Left of Africa.
I know, exactly. In fact, they tried.
Somewhere close to the Ivory Coast.
They put Argentina to the brink of elimination. A team that was in the World Cup final. A 43-year-old goaltender named Vozinha. Do that.
He went from 5,000 followers to 250 million.
You had all that. You had the row. You had the fans. You had the city takeovers. You had the watch parties.
You had from Germany.
You had Freddie for Germany.
How about the Scottish drinking Boston Dry?
Scottish drinking Boston Dry. I think about all the moments in the World Cup. Even the U.S. You can say, yeah, this performance wasn't that the other thing. The U.S. soccer had its moments. We were all being like, what the fuck, Flo Balogun? That wasn't a red card for a week straight. Like, the whole country that doesn't watch soccer was like, yeah, this is bullshit. Like think about that. It's like there's very few.
I want that British African guy playing for the United States. Damn it!
Exactly. Like being like, holy shit! Like, this is a team to get behind. A team that was gonna do nothing, but was still exciting to watch. Like I don't.
Oh, I'll throw in another one because we talked about it. But the Zlatan and Alexi Lawless was actually made up for the entire thing, and Zlatan gave a great, sent. As much as you want to say about Zlatan and the ego that he has, and I know that, but him and Thierry Henry, I've never heard of those two guys before this year's World Cup, and those are probably two of my favorites.
Zlatan, another guy made in the MLS. Just to go on my thing here,
LA Galaxy, baby.
I'm telling you, man, this tournament had everything, and that's why I'm like literally legit like. I want to join a men's league soccer. Like, I want to have a Premier League team. I kid you not when I say
the last time we signed us up for a men's league, we got our asses handed to us.
The beautiful game is beautiful for a reason, and I was so impressed with how much our country showed out, how much Mexico showed out, how much Canada showed out. Because in reality, like, you look at this tournament from top to bottom, it's like, what were you missing?
Yeah.
What were you missing? Like seriously, you have name one thing this tournament could have done better individually that should have happened.
I'll give you a non-US related moment. I told you I was at the Planet Hollywood Sportsbook watching the Paraguay-Germany penalty kicks with probably 55 Paraguayan people and just everybody else walking around the sportsbook in the casino, and I was like, oh my god, none of us. I don't have an affiliation to Paraguay, but I want Paraguay to win in this one.
I was sitting there at a beach in San Diego watching it.
I told you,
a watch party on the beach in San Diego, watching that game with my only Germany jersey, and everyone rooting for Paraguay. And I was like,
I had Alvida Zane texted out for about 25 minutes as they went through penalty kicks, just waiting to send it. Just waiting to send it.
Like I said, you had the upsets, you had the top dogs go through. It's like even as a American sports fan, you can't sit here and be like, yeah, that wasn't entertaining. You can't say that. It's like you can't say that wasn't entertaining. Even if the World Cup final was like, yeah, well, it was 1-0. It was 0-0 for most games. All right, so you didn't enjoy the guy flying 10 feet in the air because of a slide tackle?
I've never seen a soccer tackle like that, Niko.
You didn't enjoy the goalkeeper flipping off his own team because they weren't playing defense correctly? You didn't enjoy that in the World Cup final? Like I don't understand what, as an American fan, you could say that'd be like, you know what, this sucked. Seriously.
Matt Freese not being able to kick the ball and turning into young.
Exactly. The U.S. performing better than it should have is the only thing you could say. In reality, it was bound to happen. Okay,
I know.
Unfortunately, it was bound to happen.
I'm so used to being good at everything, Niko.
I will stand 2 feet down and defend this World Cup being unreal. And the fact, and like I said, going to one of the games, like I wish you guys would have experienced it. I went to Germany versus Curacao, 7-1.
Curacao?
Yeah, in Houston. I flew down to Houston. That was a game that I will remember for the rest of my life. Yes, it was 7-1. Yes, it was a beatdown. But going to the event, seeing all the Germans, seeing all the Curacao fans, how friendly everyone was, walking around the city, going to the Houston. I think it was called Fan Fest or something. They had a huge ass screen where they're just playing games all day, the whole tournament long. Seeing all the fans rocking different jerseys, being so kind to one another. Like that's what sports is all about. Like there's so much hatred in this world. The World Cup does that better than anybody. It's like uniting fans across. Yes, there's some outliers.
The most corrupt organization in the world, bringing everybody together.
It's the World Cup.
You're totally 100% on, but I'm just like sitting here. And
the World Cup does that better than anybody. And like I said, I'm missing it already.
Better than the Olympics. Better than the Olympics.
I haven't been to the Olympics.
Oh man, that's the first question that I've actually really
imagine if you were watching the 100-yard dash or something like that.
It's like I'm being honest with you. Like certain events, yes. It's like certain events, like no offense, archery,
turkey guy that doesn't even have
curling. I love curling during the winter, but like I'm sorry. Like the shooter, like some of the Olympic Games, absolutely. But like at the top of the peak of it, like even the
I've never had
the men's basketball
of summer taken up like this, Niko. I've never had a month of just everybody was watching. And you're right. The fact that these were on at good times and all throughout the day here in America, you are going to see so many American EPL fans that get up early on Sundays to watch on NBC. Yeah, I know. I've joined.
Darren
does his show at 7. Niko, Darren does his show at 6:15. 8:30 our time. Yeah, so I know he's up. I'm up too because I'm trying to get my ass ready for the week that's coming in school. But I'm just sitting here and like, I'm gonna have a ton of little kids in my class next year that just want to play soccer.
Like I'm telling you, it's like
I bought a couple soccer goals just for
I don't think you can. I have a little soccer ball that I just kick around my apartment while I'm walking around working all day. Like I'm telling you right now, like soccer will be a sport that is played at recess all across the nation next year. It's like those first weekends of the school year in August and September. There will be gym teachers being like, "Yeah, we got to play soccer."
If I get a kid coming in my office telling me that he's played like Argentina, I'm not going to be happy.
Hey, no.
Do not play like Paredes. Paredes is off limits. Paredes and Martinez off limits.
I'm just playing like Argentina.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this World Cup. It was beautiful. It showed why this is the world's game. Like I cannot emphasize enough. Be able to bring it to the U.S. and the country show out like it did, and how many people were able to come in and enjoy our country, enjoy all the fun things we have as a country, the big gulps, the air conditioning, the ice in our water,
baby.
All that, like
America's greatest export, 62-ounce double gulp.
And ranch. And the amount of ranch.
That was I saw some British guy, he's like, we normally put mayonnaise, which is so delicious on our pizza, and he licked the little ranch, when you put the little bottle of Honeyville Ranch or Hidden Valley Ranch and it gets a little bit on the cap, he licked the cap to take his next bite. That's how they lied to us. They lied to us for so many years. I'm going to give this World Cup a 96. So a straight up A, almost on the brink of that A+ if we would have been able to make it one further stage in the knockout round.
You said you're ass, you're begging.
I know that I'm asking to shoot rainbows out of my ass, Niko, but I'm just sitting here saying, like, if we could have, it would have been a 99, and I would have paraded that kid in front of my class. This was the kid that doesn't study, didn't read the book, didn't do any of the homework, and he shows up for the unit test and gets a 96. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's why I'm at A+, and it's a 99. It's not 100. Because if Germany would have went farther, then the U.S. would have won one more game. That would have been perfect.
And if Italy was in the spot of Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yeah, and if Italy didn't lose to Bosnia-Herzegovina in January, and it was actually in the tournament, we would have been at 100%. But 99.9 is where I'm at.
Okay. That was a lot of good World Cup talk. And the other reason that we bring Daren on, because he is a Warrior fan, so he's had a lot of success in his life. We're going to talk about some of the NBA shockwaves. So I've just written down some of the big NBA trades that happened. This Greek guy, Giannis, and Bobby Portis were traded to Miami in exchange for Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparis Yakinchunas, Nate Emmett, and picks. Is Giannis now the beast in the East? Does this make Miami the team to beat in the East?
Just real quick, I've been through a lot of pain as an early Warriors fan too. So just to set up after 17 years of not making the playoffs here. But yes, I think for Miami, Giannis that's how he plays. Like, his mind is like the Miami culture, so he'll fit in there well. The problem is they're not going anywhere. This is like Alonzo Mourning joining their team. Like, it's going to change their culture. It's going to make them better. It might be the next generation or him at the end of his career winning one like Alonzo did, but he's not winning one with Bam and even if LeBron joins
did you see Bam's two-piece combo against Tyler Hero in Vegas?
My gosh, Jordan Poole.
Draymond Green, eat your heart out. That's how you knock a teammate out. Former teammate, excuse me. That's how you knock somebody out in a basketball gym. Yeah. Two-piece combo.
Yeah, Lakers not looking good after that. No, I'm just kidding. I think that Giannis going to the Heat make them better. They're not on the same level as the Knicks yet. They're not, in my opinion. They have to get somebody else. Like, they're not on the same level as some of these other teams in the Eastern Conference, and they're not even great the Eastern Conference at all. But I think even the Sixers are better than they are right now, even with getting Jaylen Brown. So that's where I'm at with them.
You already moved to the next trade, but Niko, we haven't talked about this. Is Miami the beast in the East now, or is this just like what Daren said? It's going to make them better. It's going to continue their culture, but it's probably a bridge to something in the future. As we're sitting here a few weeks after the trade, that's what I'm seeing it more as. It's a bridge to the future. This is how you build the next generation of Heat culture.
I think it's the third best team in the East. I think they're better than Cleveland. I think they're better than Detroit, especially if they lose Duran. They're better than Indiana. Indiana not be able to come back with Halliburton. They still don't have the pieces around him that were in that championship team. They lost a lot of those bodies.
Turner.
Like Turner gone and Mathurin gone. Like, they have a lot of guys that aren't there from the Indiana team. So I don't think they're back. Like, I think it's the third best team in the East with their current roster and fringe number 2. Because New York's isn't running back. Mitchell Robinson isn't coming back. Boston is worse without Jaylen Brown. I'm sorry. Paul George is not him. Okay, so they're better than Boston in my opinion.
But Paul George and Jason Tatum.
The one team that I will say that I think took the leaps and bounds above everybody, it's Philly. Like I love the Giannis trade. No, that's not even going to happen, okay? There's a lot of tree problems in LA still, okay, that they're fighting through. Like the best team in the East right now, in my opinion, could be Philly. And I think New York is still going to be very, very good, obviously.
New York's going to be tough.
They're going to be very good, but their depth is going to be very, very depleted. Yeah. So who knows? And that's
we have not seen a back-to-back champion since your Warriors
and I don't think we will.
17, right?
I don't think we will either.
No.
Like, I don't think the Knicks even make it back to the finals with how good the East will be next year. And like I said, that's one thing Pat and Andy do really well in Miami. It's that team's not done. It's like, if you really think that's their roster, like I know the LeBron thing is floated out there and everything. Like, LeBron's not their end all be all. Like, that team will be still building around him, and there's no team in the NBA that does it better than the Miami Heat when it comes to building people out of fucking nothing. Look at what Max Strus is getting paid. Look at what all these like James Jones got paid when he left Miami.
I love Mitchell on them. Love Mitchell on there.
Yeah, Davion Mitchell is unreal. Like, you know what his nickname is?
Yeah, I don't know what he is, but I know he's a
off
psycho
night.
defender.
It's off night, because every time he's guarded by you, you're going to have an off night. That goes hard, okay? Like that's a hell of a nickname. Like this.
That's like a Rucker Park nickname.
Exactly. Like, this Heat team will be top 3 in my opinion. Could be fringe top 2. They're not. They won't be done.
They're out of the play-in tournament, which is the hell that they've been in. When they played the Nuggets in 2023, they were a play-in team.
I like the reason why I say top 3. It's you can't. Like, I don't see an argument where a injured Jason Tatum-led Celtics team is better than them right now. Like, I don't see a situation where Pacers coming back right now are better than them. Cleveland, known chokers in the NBA playoffs, will lose to the Miami Heat in the playoffs unless they bring LeBron back, and that's a different conversation. It's like you go to Orlando. Orlando was supposed to be one of the sleeper teams of the year. They aren't doing anything this offseason. They're sitting on their hands. The team that was the number 1 in the Eastern Conference last year, Detroit Pistons, all of a sudden just don't want to sign their star big man, Jalen Duren. They're going to take a step back. Like all these Eastern teams are taking steps back.
I get you.
And Miami, Giannis is a top 5 player in the world. I don't think people realize that enough. He's still a top 5 player in the world. There are I can only count on one hand how many guys I want over Giannis in this league right now. Like, that's how good he is when he's fully healthy. And in Miami, under a good coach, under the best coach in the league, one of the best coaches in the league, this Miami team will be back in the top of the East.
I bet Jokic is one of them.
No, I still take it.
If you had the
like
Greek
I said,
freak
guys on a hand, I can count over Giannis.
The Greek freak plus the Serbian slash, yeah, no, I would take that 100 days out of 100 days. What do you think Milwaukee does with Tyler Hero and all these other players that they got in this trade? Or is that extra fodder for the future, or are they actually thinking that they can do something?
Tyler Hero saying, he was getting videotaped while the whole trade thing was going on. Him saying, "Wow, they done messed up." Like, what'd they mess up? Like, telling you too late that you've been traded.
He told Bam to his face his 83 doesn't count. Darren, we didn't talk about that with you. What do you think about Bam Adebayo's record-setting 83 in a game instead of Kobe's 73 or whatever it was back in the day?
It was like, I don't know if you remember Devin Booker, Niko getting that with Earl Watson as Earl Watson as the coach. That. I mean, that was a total, like, let's get this guy a record. I mean, it is what it is. Like, Kobe's was like that, but it wasn't quite the same. Like, I've watched the game over. They were in it. It felt a little much. To me, it's Bam, that's 83. I don't know, Niko. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to me, but. This is what happens in sports. This is what the scoring gets easier. These guys, people want money.
Well, the scoring was easier in the regular season, but the playoffs were like throwback old school basketball. That was a defensive playoffs if I've ever seen one, and that is why one of the teams that we're going to get to in a second, the Nuggets, I believe, were bounced as early as they did.
I understand people are hating like the 83 thing and everything. Like, Bam, that's crazy. It's still crazy even to get. And like, I don't think people understand how. Yeah, it's like I don't. Yeah, exactly. It's still difficult. And one other thing, you Kobe fans, what does that say? 83 is still greater than 81. So SMD.
That is still true.
Is 83 bigger than 81?
If only I could have somehow scheduled Terrell to be a surprise guest at this point.
83 is still greater than 81. Sorry about it. And as far as I'm aware, until I see the record-breaking 100-point game, I won't believe it. So that's the most points ever scored in the game.
We did talk about that. Wilt is probably inflating his numbers.
Thank you, Wizards. Thank you.
The tape is burned, okay? It's all
Thank you, Washington Wizards.
Game never happened.
They played the Washington Wizards. They were trying to lose. You can't give credit.
Hey, Washington's got Trae Young. They got Anthony Davis. I listened to too many Barstool podcasts. I've listened to way more basketball Wizards coverage than I have in like the last 18 I'm 28, going to be 29 this year. In the last 28 years, I've never heard this much talk about Wizards/Bullets basketball. The other big trade Well, actually, we'll save this one that I have in front of me. But with the Philly move, Jaylen Brown going to Philadelphia, getting involved with Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, we've already kind of touched on it a little bit. Do you guys think that they're going to be better than they were this last season? And obviously, like that 1 or 2 seed in the East, whether it's going to work out with them or not?
The fact that they got rid of Paul George and got Jaylen Brown, I mean, that alone is like, I mean, I just loved hearing Boston fans cry. That was my favorite part of the whole trade, Niko.
I loved it. You got rid of a all-NBA player, a guy that literally led the Celtics to the 2 seed this year, like without Tatum for majority of the season. And the Celtics said, yeah, we'll take Paul George. It's like, you know what? That's what we'll do. We'll take Paul George in the playoffs.
First round picks? Oh my gosh. What the...
they don't mean shit when you're a contending team. You know
I
that.
know.
Like the I saw something. It's like the Celtics and Sixers played in the first round playoffs for those that weren't aware. And apparently the reason behind it was the whole reason behind the trade was Paul George was locking up Jaylen Brown in the playoffs.
Stupid.
And I sit here and I'd be like, so now you decided in the offseason, our all NBA level player, all-star, best player on the team, while Tatum was injured all season long, let's trade him away for a defensive-minded player. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Does that ring a bell about trading your star player in its prime for a defender? Does that ring any bells about the last couple of years about a trade that happened with a certain owner in a certain city to a big city? No, anybody? Ding ding, Luka Doncic. Like it feels very similar. Is all I'm going to say.
Very similar.
That Serbian sausage smells strong. That is exactly what we're talking. It was one of the biggest. I agree with you guys. I'm glad that Boston is crying about it because I think that they would have rather gotten rid of the other guy or possibly not moved anybody and tried to bring somebody in. But Brad Stevens has been pretty open about this entire philosophy. You can't have 2 max players anymore. So all of these teams with 2 max players on a contract that get at least 30%, you're going to be in the second apron. Like they've made this so that it is difficult to continue a dynasty. Is that what we're seeing now with Boston? Because I agree. I think Boston came out on the worst end of this, but are they going to be better in the long run? Because now they don't have 2 max contracts that they have to pay, and they have a little bit more extra wiggle room.
The one part I disagree with Brad Stevens thinking of that is like, yeah, you could say that we're not in the world of 2 max superstars or max level players anymore. But at the same time, in the last 8 years, those teams that have won 1 championship, right? Us, Cleveland, Golden State, or sorry, not us, Golden State, Toronto, Milwaukee, OKC, all those teams had 2 max star players. Okay, they haven't won one after getting rid of one. You know what I mean? Like you could say, like, yeah, it's a recipe for winning again. Is that the recipe for winning again? You know what I mean? Like again, I'd argue and say that OKC set up for a better chance at winning a championship next year because they have their 2-star players and 2 max contract players than Boston is for getting rid of one. You know what I mean? Like I understand OKC is closer into that window, but I think when you look at the landscape of things, like I don't think that really is a recipe for success when you don't know if there's success yet.
I think Brown wanted out.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially after the Giannis trade talk, yeah.
Yeah, you wanted out.
It is one of those things. Like the NBA, I feel like allows their players a little bit more freedom. He was a weird guy. He is a strange dude.
He went to Cal Berkeley. What are you talking about?
I don't know what he does in the locker room, but apparently he didn't jive with everybody else in the locker room. And Brad Stevens felt like getting rid of a player of that talent with the headache that he causes was good. Speaking of a guy. Speaking of that was the GM taking the beer out of his hand. You don't take the beer out of a Slovenian's hand after he wins a championship.
I love Michael Finley. He was one of my favorite players.
Sometimes the psychos are good players. You deal with it. I'm sorry.
Hey, we were talking about the Bulls. Rodman went to Vegas for 72 hours before he played in the playoffs game.
And Draymond punched a guy, and they won a championship. I mean, like, go down the list of crazy people that are good at basketball and still win. I mean, come on.
Speaking of Draymond, that kind of brings us to the next. So Golden State is still on the list. They have not been eliminated. The Nuggets have been eliminated from the list, even though it does make the most.
Do you even know what the list is? Like, I've seen 8 different lists.
It's whatever Savannah / his daughter feels like in the moment that he decides to make his choice. So LeBron is making his 3rd decision. It has been 74 years since LeBron's last decision. He went to the Lakers, and now he's back on the free agent market. The Golden State Warriors, Darren, are one of the teams that are on the top of that list. Do you want LeBron, and where do you think he's going to go if it is not Golden State?
Well, I definitely would like him on the team just in terms of like us being competitive and like at least me saying this would be entertaining to watch tonight. Like there is a part of that as much as I love Yaxel, as 11th pick. I can't get excited over an MVP in Summer League like LeBron, Curry, Green. Like that's gonna make me watch games a little bit. Regardless, I mean, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, no, it doesn't feel right. It's not there, but the Warriors, this is kind of where they're at with it. I'll get into LeBron a little later on stuff, but like from the Warriors standpoint, this is as good as they can get. They're not winning a championship with LeBron. We know that. Like, there'd have to be some other move. Butler even coming back to me is not enough. So, yeah, I would like to see it from an entertainment value, but it's not going to take us over the top.
Where do you think he's going to end up then if he's not in Golden State? Because Draymond didn't sign his option.
Sixers.
You think it's going to be Philly? Niko, where do you see LeBron landing his big-ass plane? Where is
playing with James Harden in Cleveland? Playing with James Harden in Cleveland. I just can't see it.
Is he waiting for James Harden to drop some of that strip club weight? Because James Harden is back to being
pretty
chubby.
Sure James Harden is a free agent still. Like, I don't even think he's signed to a contract. So, like, he may not even come back to Cleveland. I've said it's down to Miami and Philly. I think that's the two, especially after adding Giannis. I think LeBron could see himself winning another championship in Miami and going out in a place that he loves to be in, a place that he chose right off the bat, and he's going to choose again. I think Philly makes the most sense. Like, I mean, based upon what Rich Paul has been saying, like Philly makes the most sense. Mainly because, like he said, he was going to be a Knick before they won the championship because he wanted to bring a championship to a big city. Obviously, the next big city that hasn't won one in a while is Philly. So, I mean, if he's ring chasing, it'll be Philly/Miami. If he's story chasing, it'll be Golden State/Cleveland.
Getting to play with Curry has to matter.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that. I mean, look, they talk at the Olympics, okay? 2 years ago, when they were at the Olympics, like that's a huge thing. They had him, KD, and Curry all had like a 10 episode documentary on Netflix about. This is our last chance to play together. We're going to enjoy this. We're going to hang out every second of the day. You're telling me LeBron doesn't want to know a taste of that? You know what I mean? Like I think if you were sitting here telling me right after the season who's he going to, I'd say Cleveland. I'd say this is last season is Cleveland. But now I look at that roster and LeBron's like, why would I even want to deal with that? It's like well, I don't want to mess with that roster or deal with that locker room and that's in shambles. No, I'll go to Miami. I'll go to Philly, win another championship, and say adios. Like I'm sorry. He wins one more championship. He's at 5. That's the same amount as Jordan.
He's not winning one in either place.
Philly, there's a chance.
Right.
Philly, there's a chance. Is all I'll say. The Knicks won a championship last year. Could you, at July 21st, 2025, could you sit here confidently say the Knicks were going to win a championship last year?
I definitely could not have.
You mean? I mean,
I like Brunson. I like Brunson.
You know what I mean? Like him going to Philly could do that to them. You don't know, especially with how good that roster is with Maxey, with Edgecombe, who didn't get traded for whatever reason. I don't know why Boston didn't ask for him. Like with Embiid, obviously, if he's healthy, LeBron with that team, like that's a team that can win a championship. So
This will be a way to bring it back to the Nuggets. Would you have considered the deal if it meant giving up Jamal Murray? Because that apparently was the hang-up. The hang-up was they weren't giving up Jamal Murray. They weren't giving up Aaron Gordon. So if you had to give up those two guys as a Denver Nugget, and I know, Darren, you're not a Nuggets fan, but just thinking about the Nuggets with what they did last year against Minnesota, and Minnesota did go out and make a move. They got LaMelo Ball and Josh Green and sent Naz Reid away. And I don't think that they're going to be the problem that they have been for the last few years. But just sitting here as a Nuggets fan, would you have given up one of those two contracts, Aaron Gordon or Jamal Murray, to possibly bring in a Jokic to play with, bring in a LeBron to play with Nikola Jokic?
Well, first of all, LeBron wouldn't have been a trade. Jaylen Brown was the conversation of why he didn't come here. LeBron would have been just a signing free agent. Jaylen Brown,
you still have to get rid of one of those contracts to bring him in.
Yeah, you had to trade somebody away, and that's what the whole conversation around Jaylen Brown was. So, and either way, LeBron's going to be signing a veterans minimum. Like I don't. veteran minimum don't go against the cap at all. The only place he can sign for more money is Golden State or it's Miami. Okay.
Yeah.
So in reality, like if he wants to go play in Philly, whatever, it's going to be a veterans minimum, which everyone on their contract is allowed to have. Or I believe they're allowed to have 4 of those veteran minimum contracts. So you wouldn't have had to get rid of one of those guys. Getting rid of one of those guys would have meant getting Jaylen Brown. And that conversation is something I said, yeah, I would say yes to. I would have said absolutely to that too, and said, you know what? If we want to maximize this window, it's try to bring in Jaylen Brown, bring an opportunity to do that, and we did not. It's like, unfortunately, like getting rid of one of those guys, it's going to be a situation where we're salary dumping, and it's going to be 3 mid-level players, and it's going to hurt like a bitch. And frankly, Jamal is going to be the one that receives the most. Like you receive the most from. Aaron Gordon won't be that guy. Like maybe Boston wants AG, and maybe they still try to trade package around him, or we bring in Derek White or something. But it's slim pickings here in Nuggets world, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was looking at the Nuggets roster as like they're pretty stuck right now in a lot of areas. If I was them, I would move up. Gordon has surpassed what I thought he would be. No doubt. There is that. I thought he was a bust. When he came out of college, I was
just a dunk contest champion.
For a number 4 overall pick, he definitely wasn't the star he was supposed to be.
No, but his dunk contest was unreal. That was
actually, by the way, never won a dunk contest.
Still was unreal.
Dunked over the Orlando Magic on a phone.
So greatest dunk contest.
No, but like I was always I saw him get a 50-point game against the Warriors earlier this year. I mean, I've seen him get on fire. But like I would keep Murray in. If I could keep Murray and Jokic together, that's the combination I would try to make.
That's obviously the combination.
But because you're not getting anybody for Murray, Niko. You're not getting the
only people you're getting for Jamal Murray are role players. It's not another star player. There isn't another star player in the league. The only person, and I've floated it out there multiple times, that would probably make the most sense is you call up Cleveland and you call about Donovan Mitchell.
Honestly,
and then maybe that swap happens, but I don't think that would happen because the Nuggets would still have to throw in a Christian Brown contract or a Cam Johnson contract to even make that work because Donovan Mitchell's making a stupid amount of money in Cleveland. So that's the only way that would happen.
Can I throw out a name I would like? This is a guy that's on the Warriors that drove me crazy for like a billion years. But I'm like, when you're playing with a center that can pass, like if I would take a chance on Kuminga if I were you guys. Meaning just a guy that could cut. You have a center passing. That would be the guy I would take a chance on.
I mean,
apparently they got this great defensive player, Niko, from overseas. I was like,
that's what that
defense. Adelman says, "Get the fuck out of
here." The last European star we signed, Facu Campazzo, that worked out wonderfully. Like I don't think
Argentinian, by the way, Argentinian Facu Campazzo.
That makes too much sense. That's hilarious. I mean, if the deal has to happen soon, because the fact that Peyton Watson is still a restricted free agent, nothing's happened on July 21st as we're recording this, is very, very shocking.
Oh yeah, they're almost.
And I think, I literally think that the whole league is waiting on LeBron. I seriously think that.
Well, Adam Silver said it for God's sake.
He said the whole league, every other decision made is waiting on LeBron. I hope LeBron's enjoying his golfing. Because the rest of us are trying to figure out our lives next year, okay? So let's figure it out.
I think that is a good place to leave our NBA conversation. We're going to get into the AFC West preview as well as some versus our top sports moments of all time, which is going to be totally different. I have seen all 3 lists, but I will just tell you now, everything is totally different. That is coming up after our 5-core interview. Make sure you stay tuned here on the Far End of the Bench, episode 283 here on the All Gloves Off Sports Media Network.
Are you looking to upgrade your podcasting equipment without downgrading your wallet? Then I've got the perfect website for you. Head over to 5core.com and check out everything they have to offer for creators, podcasters, musicians, streamers, and anyone looking to level up their sound. 5core.com, based out of Bellefontaine, Ohio, has a 25-man roster of audio gear, and let me tell you, the farm system is loaded too. We're talking amplifiers, audio mixers, microphones, headphones, music stands, car audio, and all the cables and connectors you need to build your setup the right way. And this is not some random brand either. 5Core has more than 35 years experience, trusted products, great prices, and quality merchandise currently supplied to more than 65 countries worldwide. So whether you're starting your first podcast, upgrading your home studio, setting up for live events, or just tired of sounding like you're recording from the bottom of a Gatorade cooler, 5core.com is worth your time. They even have podcast bundles that can include a mixer, microphone, headphones, and a microphone stand, depending on how much money you want to invest. I've seen bundles starting as low as $29.99, and with over 900 different products, 5-Core gives you options without waking your wallet and tapping it out in the first round. With an unwavering commitment to quality, innovation, and excellence, 5core.com is ready to help you sound better, record cleaner, and build the setup you've been putting off. So from OHIO, support them, support us here at All Gloves Off Sports Media, head to 5core.com and save 10%. Upgrade your sound. You won't be sorry. And now back to your favorite sports podcast.
You know, sometimes when you record things, you don't realize what you're saying. The fact that I have a segment in there that says OHIO really bugs me. Really bugs. I know that they're from Ohio, and we have friends in Ohio, and damn it, I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. But I cannot get behind Ohio State, except if you're going to 5coremedia.com and checking those wonderful things out. If you are a podcaster / musician / guy that just likes to record himself for whatever reason, 5core.com has everything for you. The AFC West. Daren, you are here because you are a Raiders fan. You have the number 1 overall picks, former Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. It's going to turn your franchise around, right? What number 1 overall pick is this for you that's going to turn your franchise around? I know I don't want to be negative, but just
well, I feel like you guys have known me long enough. I feel like I've at least given you the impression I'm not sitting here like we're going 8-8. Like I have not given you that impression. I have always been negative Nilly when it comes to the Raiders here. I will say this: we have a little hope. We have a little hope. That is what we have going into the year. I actually like the idea of the Max Crosby trade, kind of reversing. Kind of like there's part of me that I hated it when it first happened.
How do you pick Trey Hendrickson as a Bengals fan? How do you pick Trey Hendrickson over Max Crosby in that situation? How do you do that?
That's basically what happened. They signed a lot of good guys. I mean, like I'm looking at it as they keep now an elite defensive end. I feel hope. I'm not going to sit here saying, yeah, like I've been through the gauntlet. I know what to expect. I'll just say we have a young quarterback. Let's see what happens. It's better than we've had when we're drafting offensive linemen and safeties and cornerbacks and like all this stuff. Like we at least have a quarterback. And as Niko knows, as a Broncos fan, the Raiders have never, and I mean never, had a quarterback where you think twice about. So until you have that in this NFL, it does not matter at all. It's just the reality.
That's assuming that Mendoza is going to start over Cousins. Because
I don't think he is.
Kubiak has said that Cousins will be unless something unforeseen happens in training camp, Cousins will be the starter day 1.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing my offensive line play a little football too. I wouldn't mind seeing this isn't about this year. That's just the reality of the situation. You have Brock Bowers. They need a receiver still. That's the next thing. Have one more bad year, get a receiver. Now we're talking. Now we're playing some football a little bit. Like that to me, Niko. That's as a Raiders fan. That's all I'm hoping for. I know where we are in the pecking order. If we get third, one of those 3 teams had a terrible year.
What are you thinking, Niko? As a Broncos fan, do you fear Mendoza? You're probably not going to see him in the first matchup. I'm not familiar with the Broncos schedule, but you're probably not going to see him the first time you play the Raiders. When you see him the second time, are you expecting some sort of Mahomes-esque? I know Mahomes lost to the Broncos in his first performance, but he still played pretty decently and kind of showed what he was going to do. How do you feel about the Raiders bringing in this number 1 overall pick, former Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, 16-0 at the University of Indiana? How do you feel as a Broncos fan?
I mean, Mendoza's the real deal. Like I loved him in college. Like he's an incredible quarterback. I worry that the Raiders are going to get the number 1 pick. That means they hit the lottery and they got the guy. Like I compared this, I believe, in the fall or maybe even further back, like to Joe Burrow. It's like Joe Burrow's last year at LSU. Yeah, he was seen as a quarterback that could be drafted in the 5th round, 6th round, and then he has the unbelievable season where obviously he skyrockets to being the undoubtedly number 1 pick. And I think it's very similar to Mendoza. Look, I'll say this is like I think I've done an entirely 360 or 180 on starting quarterback so young. After what I've seen from Bo Nix, I don't understand why the Raiders don't start him. It's like frankly, what does Kirk Cousins playing 5 games do for you? Just lose you games so you suck more? Like and have a better draft pick, like that might be the only reason why. It's like I think it hurts Mendoza more than anything than to not get him an opportunity to rookie year, come into Mile High, go into Arrowhead, to play these tough games right off the bat, because in his second year, like we saw from Bo Nix, he'll be more prepared for it, more ready to go, as opposed to having those training wheels still on. So, I mean, look, as a Broncos fan, it's nice to see Kirk Cousins is going to be the starting quarterback at the start of the year, but as a guy that likes to see good quarterbacks develop, Kirk Cousins ain't it, okay? He's not the answer. He's not going to do you anything. If the Raiders want to pick in the top 5 next year, start Kirk Cousins 16 games next year, okay? Like, that's exactly how you do it. If you want to build to a brighter future and possibly be contending in the AFC West next year or the year after that, it is start Mendoza and give him the keys and saying, this offense is for you. This offense is yours. Brock Bowers, you have Ashton Jency, you have offensive talent. You got to figure out how to scramble and get away from this shitty old line, okay? But you have talent to get the ball to them. And you look at like the quarterbacks the last couple of years, right? Jan Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, once they started right away, They got going right away, right off the bat, as opposed to the J.J. McCarthy's of the world, the Michael Penix's of the world, who sat behind Mariota and sat behind
So it's only the Packers. They're the only team that can do
that.
Yeah,
the Packers and the Chiefs are the only two that can get away with it at this point.
When you've had two guys that continually go to the playoffs, you can say that about your franchise. That's something that none of us can say.
And so I'm saying if the Raiders are smart, they turn the whole offense to him. Or if Kubiak was smart, you build.
I think by the third game he's there. By the third game,
it should be. Because, like I said, it is valuable games and valuable assets that, like I said, Bo Nix starting game 1, having 2 big starts in Kansas City, having big games on the road for 2 straight seasons, helped him win a playoff game against the Buffalo Bills.
And the fans want to see it, man. Like, honestly, I got to be honest, that's the main thing. I'm a fan. Like, nobody wants to see Kirk Cousins freaking out there again. We want to see somebody that can win us a playoff game that we haven't won in 22 plus years. That's what we want to see.
That's all I'm saying. Is like, if you plan on picking in the top 5 next year, right, and going out and selecting a top receiver in the draft, then start Kirk Cousins. But if you want to make Mendoza valuable and hopefully have a good projection of his career, you start him right away.
Well, speaking of projections, the West is not projected very well for you two. So the Raiders are projected to finish 4th. The Broncos, despite finishing 14-3 and winning the AFC West for the first time in 11 years, they're picked to finish 3rd in the division.
Good. I love that.
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers, not San Diego anymore, Los Angeles Chargers are going to battle it out for the AFC West championship. And, well, I will give the ESPN guys some credit because the Chargers are going to get better with the injuries if they don't have any more that happen. But they're going to get better with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt coming back at their starting tackles. I know that that's probably not how you guys see this division finishing. What do you think? Do the Broncos continually matter more than the national media is actually going to give them credit?
Niko, how good is that defense? How good is it?
Hey, Jonathan Cooper, by the way, has no suspension right now and is slated to start game 1.
If you say they're the best team in the West, I'll have enough respect for you. I'm not going to laugh. But, like, the Chargers, to me, if there's a year they're set up to win the division, this is the year. Like, if they're like, they've always kind of been second, third.
See. Let me.
You guys aren't that. Bo Nix is.
No. I'm not going to argue for the Broncos right now. I'm going to argue against the Chargers. Does Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt positively affect that Chargers team to be?
It will keep Herbert healthier throughout the season if they stay healthy.
Like I said, we're talking about if man. Like, we're talking about if man. The Chargers are the biggest.
As a guy who likes Spider-Man, you got to like if man a lot more.
I'm sorry, like biggest if man in the world. Like. I'm sorry. Like I can see.
Are you all in on Bo Nix?
Absolutely. The guy won me a fucking playoff game. Absolutely, I am. The guy got me.
Should have won him an AFC championship if not that damn predisposed ankle, that bum ankle.
Absolutely. The guy got me to an AFC championship game, and if it wasn't for a bum ankle, probably a Super Bowl because we probably would have beaten the Patriots with it. So, and we would have lost. We would have got our ass kicked by Seattle, but we would have been there.
Are you really a Super Bowl team or the AFC? Like, I thought the AFC was way down. Way down.
I mean, when you have like the Bills fall apart, you have the Ravens fall apart, you don't even have the Chiefs in the playoffs. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think you guys are really there? Like, that just seemed like
that's fine. Like, do you really think the Patriots are really there then? You know what I mean?
No,
like, I feel like
I don't.
Okay, then you're being consistent because I think we are right along with the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots
place team, third place
exactly. And that's why how good the AFC West is.
Right.
Like I'm sorry when you play like the Jets and the fucking like the horrible the Dolphins. That's what happens. Like, look at this
Raiders
division.
twice.
Look at this team.
The Raiders twice that were both field goal games, by the way.
Jalen Waddle is the best addition to this offseason, this division.
He's good.
Like he's the best addition to this of all four teams. The best addition. Like I don't think that people realize.
Not the Ravens center. The Raiders, not the Ravens center.
Tyler Lindenbaum, yeah, and Fernando Mendoza. Honestly, that's probably the second. I'll be honest, that's the second.
All right, I just wanted to hear that.
What else did the Chiefs
Jimmy's an offensive lineman.
What else did the Chiefs do outside of getting Patrick Mahomes back that sits you
and got rid of their two starting corners and like
that's right. They lost their corners and they have a receiver.
Oh, they're going to bring back Mr. Swift. Excuse me, Mr. Swift is who they're going to bring back.
Exactly. Their jersey sales are going to skyrocket when that guy changes his jersey. That's what they got going for them, right? Chargers bring back two guys that can't stay on the field for more than 4 straight games. And look, it's fine. You can put us third. That's fine. All we get. We were projected to be not even a top a playoff team last year, and we won the AFC. We were the top of the AFC, so it's fine to leave us at third.
Is Brock Bowers the best receiver in the AFC West?
I think Jalen Waddle is.
Okay, so better than Brock Bowers.
Receiver.
Yeah,
here's my hot take of the entire thing. I think that with Jalen Waddle on the Broncos, I think that Evan Ingram will have a more productive year at tight end than Brock Bowers.
I don't know
because
about that.
nobody's going to cover.
I don't know about that.
Niko, nobody's going to cover Ingram. Everybody's covering Bowers.
I mean, that's
almost
fine,
Bowers is better, right?
700 yards receiving last year on like 50 catches.
I know he did not have a very good year, but he'll have. And that's why people are sleeping on the Jalen Waddle deal. I think everyone's just sleeping that under the rug, being like, "Yeah, well, it's not even anything." Jalen Waddle because of Tua, exactly. Tua and fucking Skylar Thompson the last 3 years. Okay, like.
And do you think Bowers is better than Waddle? Mike McDaniel was the head coach of Miami too.
Yeah, now he has Sean Payton. You said, do I think
Bowers is better than Waddle? Is Bowers better than Waddle?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I would probably say yes.
I live in this little county in
I would probably say yes. I think Brock Bowers is the best weapon in the AFC West. I don't think that's a conversation.
All right. So I'm at this pizza place where I live in Northern California, and I'm like sitting there watching, and this lady comes in a Brock Bowers, 85 years old, comes in a Brock, and I'm like, "Hey, you root for the Raiders?" She goes, "Yeah, Brock Bowers' grandma."
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Because he went to Napa High School out here. I'm like, "Let's go, let's go." So I'm like, I'm Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm very high on Brock Bowers. So I think he's the best weapon in the AFC West. I think Jalen Waddle is the second best weapon in the AFC West. I do think that Waddle is the best receiver. Like wide receiver guy who's on the outside, and Brock Bowers is more inside flex position as well. But yeah, I mean, like that's fine. But I do think the only ways the Broncos got worse was subtracting John Franklin-Myers, who's a big piece. He's a really good player, and that's it. Like I don't you lose PJ Locke as the other subtraction, and you added Jalen Waddle. Like I don't think that I don't think people give this team enough credit. Yes, Bo Nix is coming back from an injury, and it's going to take a lot of time, and I'm worried about it. But at the same time, you add a receiver that's one of the fastest in the league that you literally can throw a 5-yard slant to if Bo Nix doesn't want to work on his ankle early in the season. So, I mean, like, look, you can put us third, but the Chargers are the biggest if, man. And exactly. And the Chiefs quarterback is coming off a worse injury.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the Chiefs are coming off a guy who's a worse injury and are getting older.
What a wedding.
They're getting older. What a wedding.
The wedding at Madison Square Garden, if only. Let's go. ESPN said the Broncos are going to be third. Let's give our AFC West predictions, starting with you, our guest, Daren. How do you see the AFC West playing out 1 through 4?
Raiders, what? I won't be my brother on this one. I still have the Raiders 4. We're light years behind just these other teams right here. Broncos 3, Chiefs 2, Chargers and the khakis, Niko, getting the division this year. I say they get one.
Khakis / capris because Mike McDaniel is the offensive coordinator. Niko, how do you have your AFC West standings stacking up this
Broncos 1, Chiefs 2, Raiders 3, Chargers 4.
I love it.
year? You hate the Chargers more than I do because my standings were Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders. So
those are my real standings. But like,
I do think that the Raiders have the chance to overtake the Chargers, but I don't know how healthy Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are.
The people sip the Chargers Kool-Aid way too much. That team is like what are you betting on? Marion Hampton taking a second-year leap and being a star?
Betting on Harbaugh.
You know what I mean? Like, is that what you're banking on? Because that defense is worse. The defense isn't better. Like, the defense got worse. Your offensive line got better with healthy, but that's if they're still healthy. Their best receiver is still Quentin Johnston, who can't catch half the season. And the other half of the season, he's an all-pro receiver. Like, Keenan Allen's their second-best receiver there. You know what I mean? Like, I
can't believe he's still there. By the
way,
I
mean,
thought he was going to go to Tampa when Evans left for San Francisco.
That's my problem with the Chargers. Is like people glaze them too much for them doing fucking nothing.
They do nothing.
They do nothing. They do nothing. We missed the playoffs 8 years in a row and still have more playoff wins than them in the last.
But Bo Nix isn't that good either. You got to
That's fine.
He wins, Daren.
Daren,
you don't have much experience with this, but he's a quarterback who wins.
He wins, and his team is better. And his head coach is better.
They were down 17 halfway through the third quarter against the Giants, against Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, the two biggest stars of the NFL last season, and they won that game.
Jimmy, if me and you as Raiders Bagel fans are arguing about winning, we're claw
fighting. Hey, I almost put the immaculate whistle on my versus list. I was about ready to, and I decided not to.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that's my biggest problem. Is that the Chiefs will still be good with Mahomes. The problem is though, is this injury Mahomes will keep him very mobilized. He will not be moving a lot. He will be standing 2 feet in the pocket, and that is not when Mahomes is best. Mahomes is best. Mahomes is best when he is on his feet making plays out of nothing. And I'm going to tell you right now, this injury is going to set him back. So,
the enemy coming back as the OC, that's going to be what keeps them out of that Mahomes injury, disaster. Let's go into some baseball talk because we do have the host of the Seventh Inning Sports podcast, and we don't talk about baseball much. Just looking here, MLB post All-Star break. Niko and I have been to a home run derby / All-Star game when they moved it from Atlanta to Colorado here. So being in person for those performances were pretty cool. Looking at the leaders right now, AL has Tampa Bay in the East, the White Sox in the West, and the Rangers in the West as well. The NL has Atlanta in the East, Milwaukee in the Central, and the Dodgers, they're tied for, depending on how you see the game in hand situation with Milwaukee, they are tied for the best record in the MLB. Of those division leaders, who, Daren, do you see as the pretender? Who do you see as the contender out of both leagues? Because obviously one will make the World Series from the American and the National League. But out of those league leaders, who do you see the most faith in?
I growing up in the Bay Area, you have A's Giants right next to each other. It always built a good rivalry. Tyler, shout out. I'm on the Brewers again. Like I know the Dodgers or the Scooble thing will come up and stuff like that, but like I'm a believer in the Brewers. They have their back-to-back years. They'll see if the playoff. Maybe they'll let me down again this year. We'll see, but like they got a guy throwing 104 miles per hour. Nobody throws better than him in the bullpen. The Dodgers will have the depth. We'll see what happens at the deadline with them. I think the Brewers could get in the Mason Miller discussion. We'll see if they'll go all in on something like that. But the Brewers play baseball the right way. I am literally all in for all the Brewers again this year. The Dodgers are always going to be the what if. That's what we might have a lockout because of the Dodgers, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I know you guys, Rockies, they're 39 out. We'll get into that. Like,
we don't need to. Don't worry, we don't need to. We can just
I always try to root for you guys in some areas and stuff like that. But like, I enjoy baseball because of the summer months, the early October, like the big games. Like the World Series last year was unreal. Like anybody that watched that was good stuff. But I'm in on the Brewers. I think they're the best team in baseball. I think they've proven it, and they got the best bullpen. Right.
As somebody who just played through a road to the show, and I was in the World Series as a pitcher / third baseman a two-way player like Shohei on my Toronto Blue Jays team, and I lost to the damn Dodgers. So it is hard for me, especially being out here in Colorado. And Niko, I know you feel the same way. It's hard for me to say that anybody besides the Dodgers, especially because they have the number one record in the MLB, and they don't even have all of the guys that they're going to have. The trade deadline is August 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern. So we're not sure what the Dodgers lineup is going to look like in the playoffs. But Niko, do you see, like Daren, do you see anybody else besides the Dodgers actually coming through and being a true World Series threat?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue for a team that I haven't watched one game of. I will say the Dodgers, with the lineup they have, is a team that's inevitable, and it makes it very, very difficult to face. Like, that's one thing that the Brewers have struggled the last couple of years in the postseason. Like, when they face a bigger team, they face a team that is more talented on paper offensively, they struggle. That's one thing they do better than most people is they choke when it comes to big time, and the Dodgers don't. So like, I would say it's the Dodgers and 50 feet of crap and everybody else. But I mean, you never know. The Dodgers are getting older, but Shohei Ohtani is still getting better. So
Phillies would be my next choice. Just by the way, Phillies would be like I think Schwarber, Harper. Like there's 1 year Don Mattingly as the manager taking over.
We cannot have the Phillies and Sixers win in the same year, Daren. We cannot have.
I have confidence the Sixers will not win. I am confident. I have confidence. If there's any team I have confidence that's not winning, it's the Sixers. The Flyers ain't winning. The Flyers.
Yeah, well, we don't. The Flyers are like they don't even have the same color scheme. They should just in Pennsylvania. All the teams for the cities need to have the same color scheme. Every Pittsburgh team needs to be black and yellow. Every Philly team needs to be black and green. That's just how things need to work in these situations.
Hey, Jimmy, can I ask you and Niko one question just about baseball? Because I was thinking, like, when we were talking, you're like, hey, we'll have a little baseball because you're like. So I was thinking about you guys the last couple of days, and like, so my son loves the Rockies, and I'm like, he likes the Rockies.
Tell him to pick another team.
I've told
him another team. Please.
I have told him that forever.
Don't know why.
So he wears a Rockies hat, and people are like, I'll be walking in the hills in northern freaking California, Cloverdale, California, be like, why you have a Rockies hat? Like people will ask him these random questions, and like,
surprised he just doesn't get laughed at. Like,
so it got me thinking to you guys, like they've been around. They have one of the top 5 oldest stadiums. They've been around a long time now.
Is that true?
Yeah, like
1997, top 5 oldest stadium.
It has not been updated besides the rooftop bar.
But meaning, like you guys have like it's like you guys have been around a while. Other than the World Series year, and Niko said before he came on, like, oh, I don't like. I gotta think. Like, I grew up in Oakland. The A's were competitive, and we lost a freaking team. And you guys have the Rockies. Is like we built a new stadium, and we're gonna keep them. It's like. I guess for me, it's like kind of sucks because I look at you guys as a franchise and I'm like, you guys are way worse than the Oakland A's ever were, and we lost the team. Like
the problem between the difference between the two teams is that we sell out every stadium every fucking day. Like that's the problem. It's when
you really sell out though because I see the game. You're not selling out tonight.
Oh, we do. That's the thing is we do. It's like
it's 20% Rockies fans. And 80% anybody else that's playing against the Rockies.
That stadium is full every Friday, Saturday, Sunday game.
That's when the Vegas A's will be good. That's when
175,000 people a weekend for a weekend series.
But
you guys you're not going to win.
Year in and year out, the Rockies
because people love vacationing here.
Listen to me. We know we're not going to win any game in a weekend series other than the Sunday game that nobody plays in. Yet we still have almost 200,000 people go through the gates.
It's incredible to me. Like I'm just like you guys. I mean, like you said, I can see why you don't want to. They never win. They never win.
Coors Field is a top 5 atmosphere in baseball, and it's not even.
My mom loved it. She
like Coors Field, the views, the ballpark, everything about it is a top 5 view. There is not a bad seat. The balls fly. You are good to see at least 2 home runs a game every time you step into Coors Field. You're not guaranteed that everywhere else.
That's true. Sacramento, maybe.
Unless you're at Yankee Stadium on the porch, like you're not, and you have a lefty header lineup, you're not going to get that. Okay.
Who's the favorite Rocky player of all time? Then
it's Todd Helton.
Not Larry Walker. It's Todd Helton.
I mean, Larry Walker's
a little bit older than us, but he was also Montreal for a long time in his.
Todd Helton was a life.
Todd Helton was Rocky through and through.
I was wondering if he was. Were you guys? What age were you guys when they made the World Series with the Red Sox?
4th grade.
That was like that was the year you and I started playing. It was 6th grade. It was 2007.
So that had to matter a little bit in 6th grade.
Oh, it was the biggest thing in the entire state. It was bigger at that point. It was bigger than the Broncos. It was bigger than the Avalanche. It was bigger than anything else in Colorado.
I think it might have been elementary school because I remember like the whole school, like it was crazy. Like everyone.
It was 6th grade. I wasn't going to school with you. I was just playing on the team. I was driving an hour that
elementary
year.
school. But yeah, either way, like it was rock. Like everyone had a Rocktober towel. Everyone had a shirt of some sort. Like
so, there's fans there. They're in.
Oh yeah, they're there. They're here. But a lot of them don't care.
I've played travel baseball in Colorado. We love baseball.
See, out here it's like, what team's never gonna win? Everybody always says Rockies. Like it's just the number one thing.
We've been around since 1996 and haven't won a division championship, so it makes sense.
It'll never happen. Like,
it will probably not ever happen
unless the team gets sold to the Broncos ownership group. This team won't ever win anything.
They bought in for 40% of the team this year.
Exactly,
by the way.
It's like they bought minority or ownership stake in the team. If they become the full-time owners, then we will see maybe a renaissance.
Why is it just like they don't put money into the team?
If you
it's all about the stadium.
They have Chris Bryant.
Okay, don't even. It's like
worst contract of all time.
Let me put it this way. If the Rockies had all the money in the world, if you were Paul Skeens, would you become a Rocky?
No, absolutely.
No. Just if they threw a Shohei Ohtani contract at you, would you go to the Rockies if you're Paul Skeens?
Which is incredible to me because the Broncos can attract everybody. It's incredible. Yeah, I get it.
It's because if you're a pitcher, the ball is not going to like you here. It's like this team will never have a top 5 pitcher in baseball.
Astacio, he's able to get it down.
Like the best pitcher that's ever played here is Ubaldo Jimenez. Okay, like
Ubaldo would still give up a home run a game. By the way,
every single game. Like if you were a starting pitcher of any sort, you don't come play here. And I
was a power hitter here in Colorado, Darren.
The A's are going to realize that very true as well because Vegas does the exact same thing.
Yeah. So you guys are going to need to totally refine your entire.
We're all offense right now.
You need pitchers that keep the ball low. If you leave anything, I tell you, anything up and in, whether it's Mariano Rivera's cutter or Tim Wakefield's knuckleball, if you leave it up and in, it's going over the porch.
Okay, but did you guys both play Little League baseball growing up?
I never played baseball.
Okay,
so I played baseball up until.
So people say like the curveball doesn't move, but like the slider.
There's no move. It
matters that.
You know where the movement comes from? The movement comes from the fast stuff. So if you have a power slider, it moves. If you have a cut fastball or a 2-seam fastball, it moves. If you have a good 4-seam fastball, it moves here in Colorado. We don't have the pitching prospects to bring in because nobody learns how to pitch here. Everybody just learns how to hit.
If you were the Rockies, like the one thing this is my last thought of baseball, is just because I do love baseball. And I love thinking about the West Coast. I see you guys play a lot, like 19 times against the Giants all the time. Like if I was the Rock, this is what I would do. I would just literally every draft, every pick is going to be a hitter. I don't put 7
of the 9 guys on there that can hit the ball out of the park, and the other 2 can steal bases, and that's it. That's how you get somewhat competitive playing at course.
I'm just
last time we made the playoffs, we had Dexter Fowler, and we had who was
that was Kadire, that was Cargo. It was
Carlos Gonzalez. If you get on base, he will knock you. Especially if there's tacos on the line. If we score 4 runs in the game, there's free tacos at Taco Bell.
Hey, you get Arenado. Arenado might be your first Hall of Famer.
Like I said, that 2019 team was the last time this team was halfway decent. And that lineup was hitter galore. Like Blackmon, Arenado, LeMahieu,
he's going to be your Hall of Famer.
Like all those players could hit the snot out of the ball. I couldn't name you one starter on that team because they sucked, but the team was built to outscore you. That's what it was.
Arenado, I saw, was like the 6th player ever to get 2,000 hits, 350 home runs, and 1,000 RBIs. Like
he's done nothing since he got out of Colorado. So
he'll be your next guy though to be retired.
I know. Well, he's not going into the Hall of Fame. Colorado Rocky.
Why not? He's not. He can't go in as a Cardinal.
He didn't do anything as a Cardinal, and he didn't.
He's making.
That's why he would be
forced his way out of Colorado.
He has to go in as a Rocky.
There's been a lot worse, Jimmy. There's been a lot worse than
if he goes in as a Cardinal.
I will give him this. It wasn't all him because the GM that we had at the time, Jeff Bridich, is the worst management person I've seen in sports.
He was bad.
He's the worst, the absolute worst. So I will not sell. Arenado all the way down the river. But Brydish also, you know what he did? He gave Chris Bryant that contract before he got fired.
God.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not no one's fault. So no one will retire a Rocky because the Cardinals, or I mean, at least if he goes into Cooperstown, it'll be a Rocky.
He'll be the second best Rocky of all time, right? Outside of
he's top 3 for sure.
Is he better than Larry Walker?
So I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if he's top 3.
Average,
I mean, I might argue Charlie Blackmon is the better Rocky.
Well, I mean, Rocky's career-wise, Rocky's numbers, yes, but just total career-wise.
Total career, better player, it's no one. Better player, it's no one. In terms of best, like Rocky, Colorado Rocky, I think Charlie might have surpassed him. But in terms of player, no one was a better player.
That does surprise me.
How much do you know about this? Is the last baseball thing before we get into our verses. How much do you know about the Rockies outside of Hunter Goodman? Because by the way, Hunter Goodman hit 3 bombs.
I don't even
in the
know
game on Sunday.
Outside of Hunter Goodman.
Hey,
he hit 30 home runs in the season. He's the first 30 home run guy that we've had since 2018. So I'm gonna give him his shine. Hunter Goodman. That's a guy that you definitely know.
Hey, I'm a fantasy baseball, what we call keeper league with football. I've been doing that for baseball for 12 years. So I know who Mr. Goodman is along the way here with it. Yeah, he's a stud. The funny thing is he's a 4th round pick from you guys. He wasn't even like a top pick. So if I were
our
you
top
guys,
picks are all pitchers that don't.
If I were the Rockies, I would trade him right now. I would say let's see if we can get
motherfucker, dude. I'm not losing another Hall of Fame player.
But you want a pitcher? Get a pitcher.
Oh yeah.
What pitcher are you going to get for a catcher who hits 30 home runs in a season?
Exactly.
A lot right now.
Put it this way: Hunter Goodman's stock will never be higher.
No, I would trade him right now.
He'll never be higher.
Mr. Rocky for the future. You need
He's
to
got
trade
3
somebody
years
else.
of control.
Is he going to be in the playoffs in the next 3 years?
No. Not.
No. So why would you not get rid of him at his peak and get everything you can?
I'm talking to 2 guys who never truly appreciated the Rockies run like they did. You need somebody like Hunter Goodman.
Hey,
you will not be good if you don't have him on the roster.
You're right. You do. You're right. You do. You won't be good, but the team won't be good in 3 years. The next person to do that, you know who it is. It's Ethan Holiday. That's the next person that would
That's
be.
the guy that I would trade. I would trade Ethan Holiday in a heartbeat over Hunter Goodman.
As a first round
I'm telling you right now, Ethan Holiday at 19 years old over Hunter Goodman at 26, I am taking Ethan Holiday because in 5 years, Ethan Holiday will be an all-star. Hunter Goodman will be a backup catcher for the Dodgers. That's exactly how it'll work. And
be
we may be in the
if he
playoffs
goes anywhere else.
That's fine.
He is the number 1 catcher on any other team out of all 32 teams in the league.
That's great. That's great. And he will be a starter over there because we'll let him walk in free agency. I'd rather trade him. You know what I mean? Like look what happened with Trevor. Look what happened with DJ. Look what happened with
traded those guys. Remember, we just talked about it. We were on the same page with Bridich, and then you all of a sudden took Bridich out of the conversation, and you're like, trade everybody.
If you were smart, this team is not winning anything in Hunter Goodman's prime.
Oh man,
this team's not winning anything in Hunter Goodman's prime. It's never winning anything in Hunter Goodman's prime. He is a great player, and damn is he one of the best catchers in the MLB. He will be very good somewhere else for 3 to 4 years, and the Rockies still won't be in the playoffs in 3 to 4 years.
Trade him now.
That's the problem. It's like 3 to 4 years, he will be really good on a really good team somewhere. And in 3 to 4 years, we will still be winning 45, 50 games a year. That's the problem. It's like if you get 1 or 2 prospects that are half as good as him, you win. You win. You know what I mean? You win. But who knows where that looks and where it's coming from. But like the Rockies won't be doing anything in 4 to 5 years, and that's Hunter Goodman's prime. I want him to stick around. These jersey sales are skyrocketing because of him. But my gosh, like if this team has
the only good baseball player we've had in half a decade.
Oh yeah.
The only good baseball player here in Colorado.
I agree.
I'm not getting rid of him. And yeah, you can call me nostalgic. You're definitely going to call me nostalgic in the next segment of the episode. This is the first time we're doing verses with a third opinion. And like I said, I've seen everybody's list. I know that we're all different. So we're going to be talking about it. We're going to go we have our top 5. Let's go starting with our lowest moment. And I'm going to say this one is personal. Just you didn't agree with me with that Rockies conversation that we had, Niko, but I know you remember the brawl you, Gabe, and I got in Vegas. I think it was you. You were the defensive end on the far side of the Las Vegas team that we're playing.
It was a special teams where I think I like.
Either way, you were the first. You were the closest to the sideline, and Gabe Courts, who you and I played growing up with, you played a lot longer with him than I did. We were the only ones close enough to the sideline. So in our verses, we're starting things off here. I'm going with the time that Niko, Gabe, and myself cleared a Las Vegas, Nevada sideline. That was a home team. That was a team from Vegas. We were playing in a national youth tournament out there. Nico's trying to curb stomp him.
I did get curb stomped.
You got curb stomped. Hey, I'm slow. I'm fat and I'm slow.
I felt those cleats in me, okay? I felt it.
I'm fat and I'm slow, so I couldn't get over it. Yeah, no, I had you on my shoulder, and I was carrying you kind of out of the sideline as we were going, and Gabe was over there because Gabe is always getting involved in things that he probably didn't have any business being involved in because he's a little guy. But, hey, we cleared that sideline. I got you back over to our sideline, and I think like 2 plays after that, the referees were like, yeah, this is over. This team from Colorado's up by 50. I think where this game is over.
And years later, I will say I started that. I instigated the fuck out of that. I was chirping so bad, and I was pushing, and no, I did. My biggest problem was when I did it on their sideline. That was my biggest problem, and I learned very quickly not to do it on their sideline.
Here's the thing: I didn't. Whether you were in the right or the wrong, I was going to pull you out anyways. Daren, where are you going with your top 5 sports moment of all time?
Well, I thought of it differently because, like, obviously I could, I see Niko's and like, well, obviously Kevin Durant saying on July 4th was a good thing. Like, there's certain things like
that July 4th.
There's stuff like that, and like, I was at the Raiders Titans AFC Championship game in 2002 when the Raiders finally made the Super Bowl for the first time, and we won't remember the Buccaneers one, but I was at the game in Oakland there with it. I was at the last Oakland A's game in Coliseum, but like for me, Niko, that game 6. Where Clay hit 11 threes. Like, I mean, like as a Warriors fan, like at that point, you're just like, we're on this incredible run. We're going to lose 3-2. And he comes out of nowhere and just, it's 11 threes. And you win the game and then you go on to win game 7. It's to this day, the greatest miracle I've ever seen as a sports fan. Like as a team I really love about, like I was 5 when the A's won a World Series. I've never seen the Raiders win a Super Bowl. So this to me was the closest thing to, and then the dramatic of the championship wasn't the same as this one particular moment. It literally brought KD to the Warriors. Like, I mean, you think of that too. Like, if Clay doesn't hit 11 threes, KD's not necessarily a Warrior the next year. So this whole game to me changes everything for me in terms of just my number 1 in terms of what I saw there. But that, for me, that like these things it was when you sent it to me, like I could have came with 100 things.
That was the first thing that you sent me was Klay Thompson, his 11
to me, it's the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. It changes any sports team I knew more than any other team. And like I said, like I was a Warriors fan when they had Eric Dampier. They had like a Donald Foyle. Like I wasn't expecting, like the We Believe team was the only thing that mattered in my life because I had seen crap basketball. So you get that. And then the David Tyree thing, I'm not a fan of either team, but like when you said play, it's like, when 3rd and 5 with 1:24 left and you get scrambled out and you just have this miracle of a catch, that's my next one. And then for me, the Rose Bowl in 2006, I know I'm a little older than you guys, but like that was the greatest college game I have ever seen, probably still to this day in terms of the expectations of teams. And that Vince Young play on 4th and 5 where he gets an 8-yard touchdown run was pretty damn special. So like those top 3 for me were pretty incredible. I didn't want to do all Bay Area. That's where I didn't want to go there. Like, but the Hatterberg 20-game win streak to me, number 5. Like nobody in the AL had done 20 wins. They made a movie off this damn thing for good. I didn't know it. I always say this. That time when I was an A's fan from 2000 to 2006, I've never been a fan of any team more than my whole life in those 6 years. I probably watched every game of every year for 6 years of baseball. That's incredible to think about. Like, I love those teams. I went to like 60 games a year out the Coliseum. So like that game meant a lot to me too. It's just like that game wasn't even on Dash. They didn't even broadcast that game locally. Like that game was only on like by radio here in the Bay Area in 2006. That's like that to me is my favorite fact of that game. And then the Music City Miracle. Niko, come on. Like I'm watching that game, Rob Johnson starting over Doug Flutie. You're like, oh my gosh, Wade Phillips is actually going to pull it out, and then just out of the blue. Like, it's one of the more incredible plays I've ever seen live of all time. So that's my kind of thoughts on my top 5 there.
No, all of your moments were pretty big moments for me. Niko, I'm going to let you go through your list because I know you're You're going to have a lot of different opinions with everything that's going on. But your top 5 sports moments of all time. This is your verses, by the way, because I had it a little bit more generic initially, and then Niko was the one that said we should go moments, because if you put actual specific moments to this will actually make it a little bit more specific. So
I was gonna say, when it comes to moments, like it's not just a win, it's not just a game, or it's not whatever. It's like a specific thing in time, and my top 5 here, like I number 5, I had to start with my GOAT getting drafted. Like during a Taco Bell commercial, the Nuggets history getting changed because of that one draft pick, a second round pick, the greatest second round draft pick in NBA history. Like Jokic getting drafted during a Taco Bell commercial is still one of the funniest things ever. And the fact he's the greatest player to ever play for my organization, a top 10 player all time, and the dude was drafted like that. It's beautiful. It's just crazy to think about, like back to that time in 2016, I believe it was, and Broncos were in a Super Bowl and everything's going on. Like the Rockies were decent, the Avs were on the come up. Like the Nuggets were nothing, and then they draft this guy from Serbia, a second round pick as a flyer, and he becomes your all time greatest. Like that's
remember Nurkic or Jokic?
I remember that conversation. It's like I remember being a freshman in college, and that conversation being like, why are you guys trading Nurkic away? Who like what are you doing? Like, this is your star center. You're a fringe playoff team, everything. And I was like, I don't know, this Jokic guy. I think he's better. I was like, I think he's the guy that will take us like be better than Nurkic for the long run. And I remember sitting there being like, holy shit, never have I ever said something that true in my life. That true in my life. My number 4, I mean, I think it's the greatest signing in Denver sports history. Like when Peyton Manning became a Bronco, I remember where it was. I remember
not Mike Campbell,
what was going on. Like I remember that vividly, being like, holy shit, one of the best players of all time chose us. And I remember those sweepstakes going on. It was between us. I believe it was Tennessee was the other option. The Titans during that time when they had Chris Johnson and that stacked roster. And I believe the 49ers were the other one. Maybe I'm wrong on that. And we were that 3-team race, and I remember sitting and be like, there's no way. It's like Tim Tebow led this team. Like, I remember the conversation be like, yeah, why are we giving up Tebow? I'm like, no. We're talking about a top 5 greatest quarterback of all time here. And what Manning did after that was just absolute bliss. And the fact that a top 5 quarterback chose us, I'll remember that moment forever.
I can sit here and say, as somebody else listening to Denver sports media at the time, I did not expect that. I did not expect the 4 years that were out of the Peyton Manning contract.
That's the first time like a big time free agent chose Denver. Seriously, that's the first time a big-time free agent said, yep, I'm coming to play in Denver. Like the Avs have drafted their way to championships or traded their way to guys. The Nuggets obviously never really have had a big free agent. Rockies absolutely not. That was the first time, maybe the biggest free agent signing in Denver sports history.
Chris Bryant.
Hey, I knew it. I knew it because you know why I knew it? I got into a fight with somebody else on Twitter today, and I was like, you guys put your faith into Chris Bryant. It's like nobody put their faith into Chris Bryant except for dumbass Jeff Friday.
It was on a tee.
So that was my number 4. My number 3, I should have been more specific with this. I told Jimmy put in 2026 Olympic gold win. I'll put it a step further. It's the Jack Hughes goal. It's the golden goal.
Unreal.
The golden. I remember vividly the golden goal in 2010 of Sidney Crosby of the U.S. I remember vividly being so upset over it. And when we had our reverse and then Jack Hughes put that in the back of the net, that was a top 5 moment I've ever experienced watching sports. And a guy that's as big with me, that being as big a hockey fan as I am, that moment I'll remember forever. The fact I was watching in Vail, Colorado. I walked the streets of Vail with my jersey on, and everyone's chanting USA, USA throughout it. Everyone's waking up at 6 a.m. here in Denver to watch the game. Like, that's a moment I'll remember forever. The Jack Hughes goal and the 2026 Olympic gold for the men. Number 2, I mean, Broncos 2016 Super Bowl has to be there. More specifically, I'll do the Von Miller strip sack. I remember that moment. I remember the strip sack vividly coming off the edge. Cam Newton not knowing where the ball is.
Cam Newton's career.
And Cam Newton's career, when it was scoring a touchdown off of that, Von Miller is I think one of the top 5 greatest Broncos to ever play. And that strip sack moment, winning 2016 Super Bowl, was just special.
I think he might be number 2.
I
mean, maybe Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis has a conversation. Peyton has a conversation.
Terrell Davis would have been able to play a couple more seasons after
Gradishar has a conversation. Mecklenburg has a conversation.
Gary Zimmerman. Gary Zimmerman was a shutdown left tackle for years. Can't believe,
in terms of moments in Broncos history, that arguably is number 2 behind the drive. I was going to say that's the number 2 greatest moment in Broncos history, behind the drive. Like I seriously think that's how high up that is for me.
How about the Packers dive? Come on, John.
I think that well deserves to be on this list.
Yeah, that's right.
And the strip sack is something that we still remember about here in Denver. Von Miller coming off the edge in the white 58. And then my number 1 moment, I went homer. I don't care. The Denver Nuggets winning the NBA championship, the last minute where the whole game 5 where we couldn't hit a 3 to save our lives. And then Michael Porter Jr. pulls a 3 out of his ass in the corner there for us to go up by 2 in the fourth quarter there. I still get chills of the confetti falling and the stadium going crazy and us really not believing it happened and then it happening. That's my favorite sports moment, and a moment that I will never forget the rest of my life, that I am so thankful that I got to experience that I'll never forget.
It is something kind of, outlandish there. Let's see. There we go. My rest of my sports moments. So I had Niko, Gabe, and I fighting the entire sideline in Las Vegas for number 5. My number 4 goes to what we said, our love of hockey. Nazem Kadri with the game where he had the hat trick against St. Louis. I could have gone with his one that got stuck in the back of the net against Tampa Bay in the actual final series. But this one, they said that he injured Bennington. Bennington threw the water bottle at him after this game. Nazem Kadri, in the face of intense anti-Muslim / racism that he was seeing, was able to get a hat trick in the Stanley Cup playoffs along the way to winning a Stanley Cup in 2022. My number 3 moment, it's a kick stick. Alabama's going to win the football game. I listened to this on the radio. I don't know where you guys were when you experienced this moment. I listened to this pulling up. I was going to it was the first month that I had my actual driver's license. I pulled up to the house that we were hanging out at this weekend, and I heard Alabama's going to win the football game. And that's literally, and I went back and I actually watched the return, how Nick Saban's Alabama team did not know how to cover down on a PAT field goal attempt. I will never know. But the fact that this happened and it was the way that it did, kick 6, Auburn over Alabama, gets my number 3 spot. My number 2 spot goes to Evan McPherson getting the Bengals into the actual Super Bowl. So that was the first time that I've ever experienced it. It may be the only time. I don't want to say that out loud, but it may be the only time that I ever experienced it. By the way, that was 2 field goal wins that the Bengals had in Arrowhead in the end of that season that year. So they beat them in week 18, and then they came back in the AFC Championship and beat them.
Who was the corner who got that pick in that play?
Was it Eli Apple, the guy that everybody calls burnt toast? It was Chidobe Awuzie, former CU Buffalo. Chidobe Awuzie, who ended up going to another team after that season. We got rid of all of our really good defensive.
All right, I was curious who that was.
I don't know
my best
what we were
friends
doing.
Growing up randomly as kind of as a Titans fan. He hated that game.
Like I said, I was ready to put. I should have done it when you brought up the trading Hunter Goodman thing. I was ready to put the immaculate whistle. That's first touchdown that the Bengals scored against the Raiders to win our first playoff game in my lifetime. Shouldn't have counted.
We deserved it.
Shouldn't have counted. But hey, we scored and it happened, and that's what we're gonna go with. My number 1, we spent a whole bunch of time talking about baseball, which we never really do on this show.
That's a great play.
You asked it. Did people really care about Rocktober in Colorado? I remember game 163. I remember the fact that they were tied with St. Louis at the end of that regular season, and we had to have one game, winner take all.
San Diego against the Padres.
We beat St. Louis along the way that year. We beat Arizona along the way to get to World Series. But game 163, Niko, did Matt Holliday touch the plate?
Yes,
I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. He had the raspberry. He had the raspberry on his chin.
I bet you guys were going crazy that year.
I was so excited. We were driving home from football practice like, yes.
I remember the commercial. Do you remember the commercial the year after the Rockies did like spoof commercials, like buy season tickets and stuff like that? And it was a commercial in the Rockies dugout, and Matt Holliday's eating like a PB&J sandwich, and he bites it, and he has a little mark on his face, and they try to wipe it off. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Don't touch it." He's like, "Don't touch it. Don't touch it." I was like,
"Hey,
don't touch it. Don't touch it." It was a very funny joke.
Hey, A's Rockies, we gave you Carlos Gonzalez for him. We gave him for half a season. We got him.
Carlos great.
Jimmy,
like I said, if you want free tacos from Taco Bell, make sure Carlos Gonzalez is up in the 19th inning or 9th inning, not the 19th inning. I don't know why I thought that, but
hey, Jimmy, just because the topic you brought up, you guys brought up, this were so good. Like just a couple, I could just mention that I was gonna. They were right there. Niko, the Curry Bang Bang versus OKC, that would be right there on that list in terms of just an all-time epic game, and they just win it. The Warriors, people forget this. They went 24-0 to start that season as well. Like they were, and then the 73 win, like that season. I mean, like as any fan, Raiders, A's, Warriors, it's just unreal. Like you, other than losing the finals in 7, I wish I know is ridiculous. They've made it up. They made it up. But like Niko's a fan, like you're watching these games, you're like, this team is unbeatable, and they care beyond care. They're destroying teams. Like it was by far the best season I've ever watched sports. That Warriors season, not even close.
So good. My honorable mention, and I wanted to throw it in there, but I felt like I didn't want to be triggering to a lot of fans here, was trading Matt Duchene away. That really set this team up, the Avs, to be as good as they are. Literally the second he
I will take all the Matt Duchene slander you want on this show. Give it to me, please.
The day we traded Matt Duchene and gave the reins to Nathan McKinnon, this franchise was so much better off. So that
and then throw in the McCarr draft.
McCarr draft.
That's good.
I almost did the McCarr first goal in his first game in the playoffs in 2021 or 2019, whatever it was. I can't remember.
I think that was 2019 because I was a junior in college. Yeah.
Something like that, but I remember that because I was vividly at that game. I remember.
Should I be excited about Celebrity as am I getting the best player?
He almost won ESPY for best male athlete of the year. Yes.
So basically, the Sharks should be right there.
Yes, the Sharks are on the come up. Absolutely.
You guys have a killer home ice advantage. You guys don't realize how tough your barn is to play in for the NHL. Everybody that I've talked to says if you play San Jose, you have to get through the first 10 minutes. If you give up a goal in the first 10 minutes, it's over.
Well, and we might have a best player ever in the next 10 years, right? Like we might have the best player.
Don't disrespect Jumbo Joe like that. Don't disrespect Jumbo Joe Thornton.
Jumbo Joe couldn't score. That was the only issue with Jumbo.
Defenseman. What are you asking?
Great passer. Great.
The other honorable mention that I wanted to throw in real quick, I almost put Connor knocking out Aldo. I remember that vividly.
Yes.
That was
the Ronda Rousey. I'll throw in my honorable mention. Ronda Rousey getting a head kick by Holly Holm.
Also, the Holloway Gaethje baddest man last 15 seconds throwing down in the middle and Holloway knocking Gaethje out. That deserved an honorable mention too. Yeah, that's all.
Can I do Avs Red Wings fight? Like I had that on my list.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
I had that on my list.
When they finally got the retribution against Claude Lemieux.
I had that on my list, Jimmy.
That's one of the greatest rivalries in hockey that you can ever think of. We are moving into our final segment, the awards segment. We are going to let our guest go first. So I'm going to throw his up here on the screen. Who do you have for your player and benchwarmer of the week, Daren, from the Bay Area this week?
It's not Steve Kerr, Josh Kerr. I do a lot of mile testing. I've done Jimmy Teacher Pete.
The fitness gram.
You running a 3:42 mile is, I mean, my God.
10 minutes. 10 minutes in a business suit.
If I could run it, like literally today, like Niko's like, Daren, you're gonna die if you can't run it in 7 minutes. I'm gonna be like, there's a good chance I'm dying today. Like there is a good to run a mile in 3:42 is insane to me. That record hasn't been broken since 1999. Incredible to me. Like that. That's just, I don't know, blows my mind. The idea of running a mile in 3:42. I've run a half marathon in an hour and like 50 minutes. So to do that in an hour is just incredible. LeBron James, the drama. Nobody knows it better. And like, I just couldn't, like, I was like, this is what this guy does. Like Rich Paul, like, oh, he's going to take his time. I mean, Niko, the commissioner coming out. We're going to wait. We're going to wait for LeBron to make our opening schedule and Christmas Day schedule. We love
the worst part about the whole LeBron decision part is giving me hope. That I think
he should be a Nugget. That would be the best spot.
Like, don't put us on the fucking board.
He would be the best spot for you.
Don't give me no. I still don't think we are. I think the best.
You and Jokic, him and Jokic together.
It would be a great spot. It would be a great spot, but I don't think it's the best spot. Like I think that if he was the best spot, he'd be signing a minimum contract to go to OKC or San Antonio. Like that's the best spot for him.
Well, you know what I mean. He's gonna get paid.
I mean, like that was the worst.
He's gonna get equity. That's it. If the Nuggets want him here, give him some equity in Arsenal.
But him and Jokic with
he owns Liverpool.
That would be.
He's a part owner of Liverpool, so he doesn't need the Arsenal stake. That was my biggest problem was the fact that we got
some of the Rams.
Give
him some of Los Angeles.
That's true. Like don't put us on the board. Like don't give me that like little hope.
Don't you put that on evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
A little hope when in reality there's zero hope.
Don't should put that on us.
I think I tweeted you guys like. If I was him, that's who I'd play with. I'd play Jokic. I love Curry, but like Jokic is who I'd play with.
If I was LeBron, I'd go to San Antonio. I'd play with Wemby. I think that puts them like maybe the best team in the NBA. Like
then you have to deal with the question: was it Wemby's title or was it LeBron's title?
I don't know, but he's going to do that anywhere he goes. Like that's the problem. Is like at this point in his career, there's no team unless he wins in Cleveland somehow, which isn't going to happen. Like it's not going to be his championship
title. That's not LeBron's title. That's James Harden's title.
Like Miami won't be his title, to be honest. Philly won't be his title. I mean, it could be. Actually, Philly probably be the next one. Golden State will be Steph Curry's title again. Like Nuggets will be Jokic's title. Like everywhere, San Antonio will be Wemby's. Like there's only a handful.
I think Denver he could split it with you guys.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I think you're over. I think you're kind of being a little harsh on Mr.
Niko, who do you have for player and benchwarmer of the week?
Player of the week, I got to throw my soccer talk into it. I got to keep it up. I'm wearing the World Cup kit I had to. Unai Simon, I talked about him earlier, goalkeeper of the tournament. I know it wasn't all him, okay, but it takes some credit to only let in one goal all tournament.
Did you ever complete a school assignment where you didn't really do any of the project yet you got the A+?
Exactly, but he did have to do some. Okay, he was a leader back there and had to help Laporte and Kubarsi and make sure that they didn't mess up. So he's still the vocal leader out there. But the fact he only let in one goal, it's still impressive because it's only one goal. And the fact that the conversations around the semifinal with France and then the final for Argentina was, well, if Argentina or France want to win this game and win the World Cup, they're going to have to do what the whole tournament hasn't been able to do, and that's score 2 goals on them. That's insane to me. It's such an insane stat that I don't think gets enough credit. And Unai Simon being the leader of that, obviously defense helps too, is a big part of that.
I was going to say, as an American soccer fan, all we can say is his goal kicks looked a lot better than Young Wei-Koo.
Yeah.
His goal kicks, they've got all the way across midfield and into the opposing third.
They flew. His kicks were great. My benchwarmer of the week, as a brand new, I take it back. As a lifelong Liverpool fan of 3 weeks, which that is my team. I have decided that is my
Suarez,
team. And the Premier League is Liverpool. Ibrahim Konate, former Liverpool defender who left us for nothing after he said he was going to sign in the offseason. He said, no, I don't want to sign there. I'm going to go play at Real Madrid. Well, he decided he was going to be the back. He signed up to go to the World Cup and be the backup defender. He didn't play 1 minute the whole tournament until the third place game. And then he decided he was going to let in 3 goals in the first half and then absolutely be a failure in the third place game. He didn't play 1 minute, not 1 minute. And there was 90 minutes in the game, 1 minute, the whole tournament. And then he shows up being like, the coach is like, fuck it, you're here anyways. Go in the game. Third place game, who cares? And he lets up 3 goals. Yeah, Ibrahim Konate, enjoy Real Madrid. We don't want you here at Liverpool.
You got anything to say to that, Daren? Real Madrid versus Liverpool? It's Premier League?
The Premier League, the minor league for the MLS.
My son is turning 8th grade. Before he played 8th grade, me and my wife would play FIFA, Suarez, Liverpool. That was my team. I'd get up early. They won that early.
Great.
That's the team I root for now is Liverpool. Do I know a player on their team? I don't. But there is that.
You know a couple. I've been playing a lot of FIFA.
I did read the hooligan book, and do you know what the soccer hooligans do in England? They don't just beat you in the fist fight. When they beat you, they suck one of your eyeballs out of your socket. Because you realize how easy that is? If you just put your mouth over the top of the eye socket, yeah, no, I was listening to the audible
fans out there.
I was listening to Raiders/Giants. I'm not going to let Tyler off the hook. The Giants have the most recent stabbing at an MLB game, and that was fatal.
I want to hear that Sunday. I want to hear that.
Just because, if you put your mouth over the eye socket, just it pops the guy's eye out. That was the English soccer hooligans that I've heard about. I'm not going to pick a team in the Premier League because I'm not watching.
Good many. Let's go.
The minor leagues of the MLS.
Go Rockies.
Yeah, there you go. I said Hunter. I will get a Hunter Goodman jersey and I will wear it until the wheels fall off, whether he is a Rocky by the end of the season or not, because we still have about 2 weeks left as we're recording this, whether or not he's going to stay for this season. And then, like you guys said, 3 years, and he's probably somewhere else playing for Los Angeles or New York. If he goes to New York, I'll be much happier. If he goes to Los Angeles, I'll be pissed. But if he goes to the Yankees, I'm a freshman offensive line coach. My varsity offensive line coach is the biggest Bronx guy you've ever met. So he is pumped about this Knicks championship. He is going to be pumped about Hunter Goodman being the Yankees catcher for the next however many years once he gets traded out of Colorado. But 3 home runs in a single game, 30 home runs on the season. We have not seen that. Period. We have not seen that. That's something we haven't really seen here in Colorado. And my bench warmer of the week goes to Leandro Paredes.
Oh, good call.
Leandro Paredes, you should ask the UFC, hey, hit up Dana White, hit up Jake Paul for these influencer fights, because you are much more suited to be a combat athlete than to be a football player, because you are too violent for the pitch. You are too violent for what happens afterwards. And by the way, and I know we're sitting here as 3 guys that coach younger kids in sports that we all love. If somebody did what Leandro Paredes did after losing the World Cup final, how quickly do you find that kid's parents, and how quickly do you explain to them why he is not playing on the team anymore in the future? Because that is absolute 110%, whether you're an Argentinian fan or not, that is garbage. That is absolute blatant garbage that he was putting out there on the pitch.
Jimmy, the first yellow card he got was complete garbage. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I saw that, Niko, and I was like, that's a red in most circumstances. Like, that was like, he was just, the announcers said it. They're like, maybe the coach is telling him it would be tough. Like, Jimmy, this guy was.
There's tough, and then there's dirty.
No,
like did I ever punch somebody in the throat with my thumb when they beat me on a pass rush? Yeah. Did I get called for holding and personal fouls too? Yeah, I've done that too. That was a personal foul.
That was a sore loser.
I mean, that's as bad as it gets. When I saw that, I originally, when I saw the replay, I didn't know that was after the World Cup game ended. I thought it was after regular time. And that's why I thought the red card came in. And I was like, why does it say 10 men down? Because I was listening to it without sound on at a pool nearby, and I was like, so that's why the 10 men. I was like, no, it was the guy literally flipping a dude over was why he got the red card. And then Paredes was after the match. The fact that it was after the match, I mean, it made it even worse. Is like, there's a reason why Argentina is hated among
that led into the turning their backs and the crying during España's lifting of the trophy. But I've had to say it with my freshman football players, like, you are not more important than anybody. And Leandro Paredes took himself as more important than the entire country of Argentina, because that is your sport. That is your national team. And you decided that you were going to be the one, as much shit as they got for the rest of the tournament, that was worse than anything that they had been talked about before up until that point. That was absolute garbage. So I think he deserves my bench warmer of the week more so than anybody in the last 283 episodes. That is where I'm sitting right here. Daren, we appreciate your time. I know that it's a little bit earlier out there on the West Coast. We're coming up here on
8:30. My gosh, wake up! What are you doing over there?
3 more weeks. 3 more weeks, and you're back in school. I hate to be the one that says it. I just got another back to school email from my administration. So
I'll send one out tomorrow to my teachers.
Oh, I forgot you're an administrator.
I am now, brother.
I should have been more careful with what I was saying on this show. That's bad. Tell people where they can listen to Fat Boy Fadeaway. I'm going to be on this Sunday with you, and then also your 7th Inning Stretch podcast over there on Variety Sports.
Yeah, no, I do Variety Sports Network. I mean, Brett, like you said, we have life. We both get stuff happens, but we're still out there doing our thing. 7th Inning Stretch. I like talking baseball every week. It's just something I enjoy. It's there every week. But as you know, Fat Boy Fadeaway, you'll be with us Sunday. We have top NFL questions I'm talking to you guys with. So is Sean Payton overrated? We'll get into that. No, no, just kidding. But we'll have some fun there Sunday with you. With
Sean Payton's overrated. The Rockies are the best team in baseball. Let's see. Jonas Valanciunas is the best NBA player of all time. What else can I throw out here?
So I know that Tyler loves you guys. We've come on, so we have a good relationship between each other. So that's all good stuff. And look forward to you coming on Sunday. We're talking about NFL with that as well. I have some celebrity stuff for you as well that I want to get into on Sunday as well with that too. So enjoy having you on. Thank you guys. I know it's been 2 hours, but I appreciate you guys. I love talking with you guys. You guys just we all talk. Niko loves his Nuggets. I love my Warriors, so we get into that. Raiders, Broncos. You got the Bengals crap, and we all suck together, type of stuff. So it's all good, and I appreciate you guys much. So thanks for letting me jump on tonight too.
We appreciate it, Niko. What do you got for the people before we let them off for the weekend?
I don't know what I'm going to do without this World Cup. I don't know. I'm fine. I don't know. I'll find ways to figure out something. I don't know. I will say, if you're in the Denver area, the PLL is back this weekend. My team isn't playing, but I'll be there all weekend long. So come say hello to me. I'll be running around the sidelines helping with a lot of BS. So I'll be around there. And my next sporting event I will be going to, which I think is a fun little factoid. I'll be watching Caitlin Clark in person. I will be in Seattle on Tuesday. So I'm with my girlfriend and her sister. So I'm going to see Caitlin Clark versus Seattle Storm. So hopefully that will be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see 22 show out and up there in Seattle. So
you took all my Caitlin Clark thunder out of next week's episode. I appreciate you, Daren, for coming on. Make sure you follow at Fatboy Fadeaway Sports. Check out this Sunday's episode. If you're not up early enough, it's there available on YouTube. So subscribe to their YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at FEOTB Pod. And make sure you're checking out All Gloves Off Sports Media with everything else that we have going on here. For the far end of the bench, myself, Jimmy Pilato, my co-host, Niko Bryant, our special guest, Daren Briare of the Fat Boy Fadeaway Sports Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 283. We will see you guys next week.
Peace!
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.